Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes is motivated.
Whenever you lose, you kind of have this taste in your mouth that you want to go out there and revenge that or whatever you want to say. But at the same time, I feel like I've had to sit back and just listen to people talk. And I'm like, let's just play football and just handle it all out there. And I don't really want to talk about it. I just want to go out and show who we are as a Kansas City Chiefs.
Patrick Mahomes on Up and Adams from FanDuel TV. At Wimbledon today, American Ben Shelton and Novak Djokovic among those advancing to the quarterfinals.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Tuesday, we asked friend of the show, Adam Schefter, what is the Giants' plan when it comes to rookie quarterback Jackson Dart when he joins the show at 8 a.m. Eastern. It's Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Check this out, y'all. Audio level, full volume. It's your time.
This is Border to Border with Matt Josephs.
He's super famous.
I respect women. I love women. I respect them so much that I completely stay away from them.
Matt, your manliness is overwhelming.
Sports. Audio level, full volume. It's go time.
Here's Matt Josephs on Richmond's 106.1 ESPN.
Good afternoon, everybody. Border to Border, 106.1 ESPN. Matt Josephs here on a Monday. Hope everybody had a pleasant and a happy holiday weekend. And we're back at it today, back in our normal time slot. That means the Mashup Hour with Bob coming up at 4. And then Bob will take you home from 5 until 6. Should be a fun week. Just to tell you a couple of things coming up. Talking Dukes on Wednesday at 6:05. We'll have the AD on, Matt Roan. He'll be joining us, so you'll want to stick around for that. And then on Friday, Bob and I will be out at Colonial Downs for the first of many Fridays out at Colonial Downs as the meet begins this week on Wednesday. So please head on down to Colonial Downs, certainly as many times as you like. And if you ever wondered what, well, you probably know what Bob looks like. And I don't know if you really do want to know what I look like. But if you ever wanted to come out and join us, we will have some keychains out there. Hopefully you could come by and say hello. Alan maybe will give you a winner because he'll probably be out there sitting with us. He's the horse racing better of the three of us, although I am going to bring cash this time so that way I can try and win some bets out there. But remember, the racing this year is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday post time 12:30. Friday post time at 4 o'clock. So that way you'll be out there and can take advantage of it. But it all begins on Wednesday, so a couple of days away from the start of racing at Colonial Downs. Got a lot to get into on the show today. Coming up over the next hour, we'll certainly recap what happened over the weekend. We'll talk about some of the trades in the NBA. There was a 7-team trade in the NBA, which is crazy to say the least. We'll get into some college basketball. One of the state schools signing a 22-year-old today. We'll tell you who and where. We'll give you an update on a couple of other things. And also, as I said last week, I've started my heavy research for the college football season. I have Phil Steele. If you look at our feed, Facebook, Twitch, or Twitter, you see I have my copy of Phil Steele's magazine. It's already kind of beaten up a little bit because I've taken it everywhere with me. But I've started to my first thing is the ACC getting ready for Media Day coming up in 2 weeks, because 2 weeks from today, we'll be driving down to Charlotte to get ready for the 3-day extravaganza on the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. So I'm starting with the ACC research, and something has come up that I certainly want to get into. We'll do that next segment, but we're starting the heavy-duty college football talk. We want to hear from you. 327-0888. That is the phone number. That is the text line. 804 is the area code if you want to get involved with the show. We love your phone calls, your emails, your texts, your tweets, whatever you want to do to get involved with the show. But I guess I want to start with a story that came out yesterday over the weekend. And once again, I'm going to say I'm not worried. I'm okay. As a guy who covers this team, Jeremy Fowler on SportsCenter yesterday came out and said Terry McLaurin still not happy with where things are with regards to an extension. Fowler noted they have only a few weeks to make progress. Otherwise, his holdout will continue in the training camp. I'm not. There's nothing there. I'm not worried at all. With regards to him. I've been marked down on the air, and I'll say it again. I said on Twitter, because there were some Commanders fans talking about it. Terry McLaurin's contract will be done on the 3rd day of training camp. So whatever that is, I don't know what the 3rd day of training camp, I'm picking the 3rd day of training camp specifically because I feel like we are going to head to training camp without Terry McLaurin. And I think they're going to sit there and they're going to realize what they're doing in terms of mistakes, in terms of we need Terry, we need to fix things. He's making $25.5 million this year. So $25.5 million this year, and then he's making, and then that's it, because next year is a void year. He could become an unrestricted free agent. They can void it, which you would think that that's potentially what Terry's worried about, because he wants to, fix his deal. He signed a 3-year, $68.36 million deal with the Commanders, a couple of years ago. And so the number is going to be interesting. You're going to hear a lot of different numbers. And there was the number that Lake Lewis put out there that said $36 million per year, which I don't think is a bad number. The tough part of this negotiation, we talked about it last week. That's why I'm going to run through it pretty quick. The tough part of the negotiation is Terry McLaurin's age, in that he's in the dreaded 3-0s. He's in the dreaded 30s. And so when you are in the dreaded 30s, everybody in the NFL gets very scared. He's 29 now. He'll be 30 by the time the season starts. Any sort of extension could put him to age 33 or 34. And we've talked about his durability, 4 straight years of 17 games. So he's a durable guy. But when you look at the guys that are getting these contracts, and when you look at the guys that are the highest paid wide receivers, they're all 26, 28, 25. As we talked about, Tyreek Hill is the oldest of the highest paid wide receivers, and he's 31. And he's making $30 million per year. So you have Terry McLaurin, who I don't know who Terry McLaurin's agent is. I don't know. It's not, I keep thinking Scott Boras, but Scott Boras, I don't know if it's Drew Rosenhaus. No, it's Buddy Baker and Tony Bonagura of the Exclusive Sports Group. So what I'm guessing here is the agents are trying to get him a deal towards the top of the wide receiver chart, which the wide receiver chart is $40.25 million for Jamar Chase. And Jamar Chase, though, is 25 years old. Okay. Justin Jefferson is 25 or 26 years old. CeeDee Lamb, who's third highest, is 25 or 26 years old. So you got all these young guys that are getting paid because they're really good and they're at the start of their career. And then you've got Terry McLaurin, who is into his career and he's asking for a lot of money. My guess is that the agents are holding out for more money than Terry is. My guess is that Terry would be fine with a number that puts him in the top 5, which would be between 32 and 33 mil per year. It's my guess. My guess is the agents, who I don't know how many people they represent. I don't know much about their agency and things like that. My guess is the agents want more, top 3, top 2 money in the NFL for that position. It's my guess. And so that's why I think once training camp begins and Terry is kind of seeing everybody else playing and seeing what the team is and having everybody talk about how good this team is going to be this coming season, I think Terry McLaurin's going to push them to get him in. And that's why I'm saying, and we'll mark it down, 3rd day of training camp is when the contract will be done. And then he'll be there probably the 4th or 5th day, whatever. He'll have to fly to Ashburn Park or whatever, Commanders Park, whatever they're calling it. That's my guess. So I'm still not worried. I still think he's going to be fine. I still think the Commanders are fine. Adam Peters, all the goodwill that Adam Peters brought in for all the trades and the free agents and everything, which I still think Adam Peters is slightly overrated by the fan base, but whatever. All that goodwill that he would have brought in would be gone. Gone. Because you cannot go next year, this coming season, without Terry McLaurin. Without Terry McLaurin, the Commanders are on par with the Cowboys. I know. I just woke Cowboys fans up for a second. Wait a second. They're on par with us? Yeah. They would be on par because Jaden Daniels is a better quarterback than Dak Prescott. Yeah, the Cowboys have a lot of great wide receivers, but I don't trust anybody in their running back room. Now, granted, I don't love anybody in the Commanders' running back room either. And neither defense is all that scary to me. So I would say that the Commanders are slightly ahead of Dallas now with Terry McLaurin. I would say they're about even without him. And that would make it a little bit easier for the Eagles to win the division. But I'm just saying, as somebody who covers this team, somebody who has to talk about them and be impartial except for 2 weeks a year, I think the Commanders are going to be fine. Jordan, did you see the SportsCenter report over the weekend? And are you still standing in the same kind of place as I am, that we're not really worried? It's not the best headline to see, but you're not really worried.
I maintain that I'm not worried, only just because, like you said, it's a situation where I almost equate it to sort of like and it's not the same, I know, but it makes me think about the Freddie Freeman situation when he was leaving Atlanta. Like, didn't he like ended up firing his agent or something as a result of it? But I don't know, there could, like you said, on your part of it with regards to the agents holding out for more money, I think it could be a situation where Terry's like, come on, man, I just want to sign and play. Right. But the agents are like, no. If you hold out, you can get more. So I don't know how that works. And I guess if Terry is maintaining some sort of one sort of level of discontent with his situation, then I guess the team's hands are tied or whatever at this point.
Yeah, I think so. And training camp begins.
July 25th or something like that.
July 18th, the rookies report. July 22nd, the veterans report. So July, I'm guessing by all intents and purposes, July 23rd, because July 22nd is probably the endurance tests and everything to see who's physically fit and who's ready to go. So that's something to look at there. The one thing the Commanders did wrong here is that they let Jamar Chase, DK Metcalf, and T. Higgins all sign their long-term extensions, because those three guys were also in the mix with Terry McLaurin. So you could have had the chance to set the market for the other people. And now instead you're doing what Dallas is doing essentially with Micah Parsons, and everybody else has set the market, and now you're in trouble. And so we'll say, as I said, I'm still not worried. I still think it's going to be fine. Terry McLaurin will be there. It's okay. I do not think he's going to miss any games. I don't think he's going to let this go that far, but it's not good to hear that headline over the weekend that he's not happy where things are with regards to extension. But, where are the Commanders? What's the urge for the Commanders to negotiate now? Like, it's July 7th. They still have 11 days before rookies report. They still have 15 days before everybody reports. What is the urgency here to get things done other than to make all the Commanders fans happy? There is no urgency. Signing him today doesn't mean he's going to get to camp any earlier. Signing him, whatever. Like, they're probably negotiating. It's probably one of those things where, like, they called him, they gave an offer. He takes a day or two to mull it over. He says no. And then the next offer doesn't come for like another 5 or 6 days. So, like, there's probably negotiations, but nobody's doing the whole, like, really quick back and forth, the 3-way phone call with the agent, Adam Peters and Terry McLaurin. Like, those kind of things will happen in 2 weeks. So there's no urgency here. Like, I feel better about Terry McLaurin than I do about Micah Parsons. Like, Micah Parsons has been the good player so far. He did all the offseason activities for the Cowboys. I think he'll go in the Cowboys training camp, but, like, that's not to say that at some point Micah Parsons doesn't take it easy on the field, take it easy at training camp. Like, it's, you can't rule any of that stuff out. You can't rule any of that stuff out. So I feel about the same as probably TJ Watt. I think the TJ Watt deal will get done. Trey Hendrickson, who knows? Cincinnati's run by morons. So I don't know what Trey Hendrickson's thing is. But, like, if you had to weigh the 4 potential holdouts, I think Terry's got the best shot. I think TJ Watt's second. I think Micah Parsons is third. And then I think Trey Hendrickson's fourth, because I just think Cincinnati's a dumpster fire when it comes to, like, running their team and doing everything right. Remember, Cincinnati's first round draft pick is holding out for contract language when they already know what the guy's going to make, but he doesn't like the contract language. So that's that. 327-0888 phone number, text line. If you have thoughts, if you're different and you're a little worried about this Terry McLaurin thing, feel free to call in and tell us. I do not think this is an issue. I do not. Hey, you could be Dallas. Dallas had Kevontae Turpin, the wide receiver kick returner, was arrested Saturday and is facing 2 misdemeanor charges on possession of marijuana and unlawful carrying of a weapon. That sounds tremendous for Dallas. A Dallas team that Turpin's pretty good. I'm not going to lie. Like, Turpin's the guy that you don't want to kick the ball to. Commanders fans will tell you how good Kevontae Turpin is. Of course, he was too good, or else Dallas would have had a worse draft pick. But hey, listen, maybe Washington was playing the 3D chess here by letting him score and saying, yeah, that's going to mess up your draft pick. But he is already in trouble. We're starting things early for Dallas. So that's one of the other headlines out there. All right, let's take a timeout. Coming up, we'll go from pro football to college football. So as I said, I'm doing my research for the upcoming college football season. I'm starting out with the ACC, and there's something I'm noticing about the ACC that I want to get into for this coming season ahead of ACC Media Day in 2 weeks. So we'll talk a little college football next. You're listening to 106.1 ESPN.
Call Herman Allen Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling at 804-746-5853 today to learn more about their award-winning Lennox product offerings.
If you've been diagnosed with prostate cancer, the Prostate Cancer Educational Institute of Virginia wants to help. These guys hope you'll join them in their monthly meetings where men openly discuss their concerns with others who've already been through it. The next meeting will be an in-person meeting on July 9th at 6:30 p.m. To be added to the guest list, contact Burt Jones at burtjones70@yahoo.com. That's burtjones70@yahoo.com. For more information, call 922-7193 or prostate.club.
Summertime in RVA means one thing. Golf season is here. If you're looking for the perfect golf course, head over to Queenfield Golf Club, located just a few minutes east of Mechanicsville. Queenfield offers a beautifully secluded 18-hole course, spacious driving range, and professionally maintained practice greens and bunkers. Schedule your tee time today by calling 804-769-8838 or reserve a spot online at queenfieldgolf.com and make Queenfield Golf Club your new favorite course.
Catch up on the latest horse racing news with Off to the Races live broadcast 10 to 11 every Saturday morning on 106.1 ESPN. Presented by The Racing Biz.
So, you got your dream car, your dream girl in the passenger seat, and nothing but road in front of you.
Okay, slow down a little, yeah?
But this isn't a dream. This isn't a movie or a video game. This is real life. And in real life,
Look out, look out, look out.
there are real consequences. Speeding endangers you, your loved ones, and everyone else on the road. While speeding may seem like the quicker option, speeding catches up with you. This message is presented by NHTSA.
Were you uninvited to game night? Do you play board games with the ferocious intensity of an iron-fisted oligarch? Have friends left game night asking, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. Sleeping hot this summer? Try a Tempur-Pedic with advanced cooling at Mattress Firm's July 4th sale. Save $500 on Tempur-Breeze and get a $300 instant gift. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Whether it's the football field, the basketball court, or the diamond, and everything in between, we'll be talking JMU athletics on Talking Dukes Wednesdays, 6 o'clock here on 106.1 ESPN.
Welcome back to 106.1 ESPN. Matt Joseph's here. Don't forget, if you are a college football fan and you need some help, the one publication you should go get is Phil Steele's College Football Magazine. Now, I've emailed Phil Steele's people twice already to try and get him on. He's starting to make the rounds, and I have not heard back. I don't know what I'm going to have to do to get him on, but we'll have to work on that. And so that way we can do our yearly interview with one Phil Steele about the upcoming college football season. By the way, congratulations to all of you who purchase video games. That today is the day that college football is out. I will not fall for it. I will not buy a system again. It's not happening. It's just not happening. Have you bought it yet? I'm guessing you have, Jordan, because you're the gamer.
No, I actually didn't even realize it came out today. Like I'd seen, we're streaming live on Twitch right now, and I've been seeing some Twitch streamers that I follow playing it, but I didn't even realize that the game released to the general public today.
Yeah, today's the day. Yeah. For those who are new to the show, I bought a system last year. I bought the game last year. I played it for 3 weeks.
I enabled.
You did. Everybody did. Everybody did. I mean, how could you not? The timeline was filled with all sorts of fun stuff. And I bought a system. I bought the game, played it hard for 3 weeks, and then I lost interest and sold the system. And now I'm stuck with a digital game that I can't do anything with. and it's now a year old.
I'm about to start. I want to start my JMU and Liberty dynasties and ODU dynasties.
Exactly. That's what I wanted to do. And then I remembered, I was like, the gameplay itself is not as fun as the actual franchises, like building a roster and recruiting and stuff like that. So I don't know. We'll see. If I win the lottery, maybe I'll go buy this year's version, or maybe if I win a contest, who knows? So anyway, I'm doing my research for the coming season, and I'm starting with the ACC. And basically what I do is I do all my research and come up with win totals and thoughts and everything before I look at the national win totals. And then that's kind of how I decide which ones I want to post. I'm going to pat myself on the back slightly. The last 4 years, I've been profitable in conference futures and win totals. You can see it on my Twitter account, 24, 14, and 2. The last 4 years had one losing year in terms of the win totals, but then I hit the team to win the Sun Belt at 10-1. So I'm pretty good at it. So I'm doing the ACC stuff now. And the thing I'm noticing about the ACC this year, I think the ACC is going to be really good, like really good. I think if you look at the top teams in the ACC this year, and there's a lot of them, they are going to be really good. My problem will be, I think they're going to beat each other up. I really do. I think that when you look at it's funny, and I'm doing this as I don't know what Clemson's win total is, and I don't want to know. Nobody tell me, please. But I'm looking at Clemson, and everybody's assuming far and away that they are the best team in the conference. And they should be. They actually took in some transfers. Cade Klubnik's back. The defense is always good. But when I look at Clemson, I see 3 or 4 losses. I see, they have LSU at home. Why should I ever trust an ACC team against an SEC team? Last year, we all got excited. Oh, Clemson's playing Georgia down in Atlanta. Oh, it's going to be close. They lost 34-3. Okay. We got excited. Towards the end of the season, Clemson plays at home against South Carolina. We're all excited. All right, ACC victory. Nope, they lost at home to South Carolina. So, there's no reason that Clemson couldn't start the season 0-1. Their very first ACC game is at Georgia Tech. Okay? Georgia Tech's got Haynes King back and Jamal Haynes and a pretty good offense and a defense that's good enough. They also have to play at North Carolina off a bye. Now, I'll tell you my early thoughts on North Carolina in a second. But they play at North Carolina, 2 weeks for Bill Belichick to prepare. Now, granted, Clemson's coming off a bye as well. They host SMU. They host Florida State. They play at Louisville on a Friday night. And then they play at South Carolina to close the season. If Clemson's the best team in the ACC, I think there's a chance they get 3 or 4 losses this year. And so what I've noticed so far, and I've done 8 teams so far in the ACC, I have 4 ACC teams so far at 9-3, which the problem with that will be, that means the ACC is getting only 1 playoff team in, to say the least. And the reason why I think this way is I think they're all going to beat each other up. I really do. If you look at Phil Steele's second team, it's SMU. SMU plays at TCU. SMU plays at Clemson. SMU hosts Louisville, hosts Miami, has a really tricky spot on October 25th between the Clemson-Miami games at Wake Forest off a bye. I think Wake's going to be better than people think. This is an SMU team that's better, but they only have 12 starters back, 5 on defense. SMU could also be 9-3. And with me projecting 4 9-3 teams, I have Miami also 9-3, and I have Louisville 9-3. I have Georgia Tech at 8-4. The problem with that will be they're going to have 1 team, and that could be it. You would need massive chaos in the SEC and the Big Ten to get 2 9-3 ACC teams in. Not 2 of them. I don't think there's a chance that that's going to happen. Now, somebody could come out of this crew and take over and be really good and be 10-2 or 11-1, but I think this is going to be a really good conference that the top just beats each other up. And then the middle is going to try and beat each other up and occasionally get an upset victory. If you look at the ACC this year, I would say there are several tiers. Tier 1 is Clemson, SMU, and Miami. Okay, and we'll do a lot of this down in Charlotte too, because we'll have interviews with everybody in the media and everything. But I think Clemson, SMU, and Miami are tier 1. And then I think tier 2 is Georgia Tech and Louisville. I think those 2 teams are in tier 2. And then tier 3, I think, is the question marks: Florida State, Carolina, Pitt, and NC State. And then, the rest is tier 4 and tier 5. Tier 6 is Stanford by themselves. But I think this season is going to be one of those classic years where we get a lot of great ACC football. We're going to get a lot of great ACC football. As I said, Clemson plays SMU. Clemson plays at Louisville. SMU plays at Clemson. They host Miami. Miami plays at Florida State, at SMU, and they host. Well, they have a pretty easy schedule there. But everybody's going to kind of play each other, and I think the home teams are going to hold serve a lot. So I think this coming season will be one of the best ACC seasons on the field of recency. But I think it will be a disaster when it comes to the playoffs. I think the playoffs, we're going to get one ACC team in. So if DraftKings, last year we put the bet in for over 1.5 playoff teams, I think, and I'm not done with my numbers. I got to continue to do all my numbers and stuff. But as of now, I feel like the ACC is a one-bid league. I really do. I think the ACC is a one-bid league because you're just not getting a second 9-3 team in. And this isn't even saying that somebody, there's 2 9-3 teams making the conference championship. That means one team's 10-3. That means another one's 9-4. And are you going to take a 9-3 ACC team that didn't make the conference championship game over a team that lost in the conference championship? So, as I said, I'm not done. We'll certainly dive more into this when we get down to Charlotte, but I really think this conference is going to be good this year. I just think it's not going to show up on the field. Here's the other thing I think. There was an article last week in the Sporting News. I think it was the Sporting News. No, someplace else. Yes, it was the Sporting News. They ranked the quarterbacks in the conference. There's a lot of good quarterbacks in this conference. Cade Klubnik, Haynes King, Carson Beck, although I've never been a Carson Beck guy. I think Georgia won a lot of games because of their defense and everybody else around Carson Beck. I think everybody's kind of just assuming in Miami that Miami's going to be back and they got an SEC quarterback, but he's a guy coming off an elbow injury, and he really wasn't that great for Georgia last year. Threw 12 interceptions. It's a lot. That means Miami's defense has to be better this year. Kevin Jennings, pretty good for SMU. Miller Moss, the USC transfer, going to start at Louisville. Darian Mensah, who was the Tulane transfer at Duke. Thomas Castellanos at Florida State. With Gus Malzahn, you think that he's going to unlock Thomas Castellanos. CJ Bailey at NC State's okay. I'm not an Eli Holstein guy in Pittsburgh. And then, of course, you got our two guys, Chandler Morris and Kyron Drones. Gio Lopez should be okay at North Carolina. But, there's a lot of solid quarterback play. I'm telling you, I think the ACC is going to have a really good year, but I think this conference is just going to beat each other up. And I think that's a problem. I think that is a huge problem for this play. And this is with, 12 spots. When we get to 16, maybe one of those 9-3 teams gets in, but do they really deserve to get in? That's why I'm so against 16 teams playoffs. And I'm even more against trying to guarantee teams per conference. I'm just not feeling that. I'm really not. And so, that's just kind of my thoughts on the ACC as I've started to do my research. By the way, if you look at North Carolina, and look, I'll tell you now, straight up, we ain't getting Belichick. We'll put the request in, but literally, everyone in the world is going to get Belichick or want him. I don't think this. I don't think Bill Belichick's going to do an interview in Richmond. Do I think we have a better chance of getting Jordan Hudson though? Do I think Jordan? Do we think that Jordan Hudson will accompany him in Charlotte in 2 weeks?
I would be highly surprised if she doesn't.
Do we think that she's going to do interviews, or is she just going to be the one standing over us, making sure we ask the right questions?
No, she's probably going to be his PR.
Okay. I mean, listen, if they said, do you want Bill Belichick? I would say, no, can we have Jordan on? And I would ask appropriate questions and things like that. I'm not that type. We'll see what happens. We're not getting either. I'm just preparing you for North Carolina Day, and I don't know which day North Carolina Day is. We're not getting Bill Belichick. Although he is playing Richmond in week 3. I'm just saying, Russ Huesman and Bill Belichick will be sharing the same field September 13th. sharing the same field. So maybe he will come on. I don't know. But like North Carolina, I think a lot of people, and once again, I don't know what their win total is. I don't want to know. I have North Carolina 6-6 this season because I think that when they start losing games, I just think the media surrounding this, I think just everything's going to collapse a little bit. I really do. Like, people in Chapel Hill are unreasonably caring about North Carolina football right now. Like, before football season, North Carolina fans used to care, but it was like, if they're not very good, I'm okay with that. We could just blame Mac Brown. That's it. But like now, the whole world is watching North Carolina football. And there is a chance, and I got to look up and see how I feel about TCU this year, but like there's a chance that North Carolina loses the first game of the year to TCU. And heaven forbid they start 0-1. Then they play at Charlotte. They'll probably win that game at Charlotte. Then I got to tell you this, they're probably going to beat Richmond. I know, we're the flagship station, but I'm just saying. Then they play at UCF. That's going to be a loss. They host Clemson off a bye week. That's going to be a loss. They go out to Cal. That could be a tough game. They host Virginia. That could be a tough game. Then Syracuse on Halloween on a Friday night in Syracuse. That's a loss, obviously. They play at Wake Forest, who I think could beat them. They play at NC State, who I think could beat them. Like, I think North Carolina is in for a rough season this coming year. I really do. I think that everybody's just going to assume because an NFL head coach is going to college football that everything's going to be okay. And I think that's going to be quite the opposite. I have a text here who said, what do I think about Florida State? Florida State's not one of my 9-3 teams. Florida State is 6-6 in my book. 4-4 in conference, which means I have them going 2-2 in non-conference. I think you'd agree. They're not beating Alabama week 1. They will beat East Texas A&M and they will beat Kent State, and they're not going to win at Florida. So they're going to be 2-2 out of conference. Their first conference game is a short week at Virginia. Like, I'm high on Virginia. I think Virginia could beat Florida State. And I think it's early enough that Virginia fans will be in the stands. Then they host Miami. That's Miami off a bye week, by the way. That's not an easy game. Host Pittsburgh, at Stanford, Wake for homecoming, at Clemson, home Virginia Tech, at NC State. Like, there's a bunch of losses coming for Florida State there. I think 6-6 is a very distinct possibility, which means I think Mike Norvell might be gone. Maybe. 6th year in Florida State after a 2-10 season and a 6-6 year. Like, I don't know. Once again, I don't know a lot about Florida State in terms of, like, I like Thomas Castellanos. I do. But this is his 3rd team already. Like, if he was that good, he'd stay somewhere because somebody would be paying him more, because this just in, NIL money, a lot of NIL money is going to go to quarterbacks. So if he was that good, now granted, Boston College probably couldn't afford him, but UCF probably could have if he would have been that good there. I wouldn't give up, Texter. Listen, this is just my projections. And as I said, I'm not done with the whole conference, so things can change. But I just, Alabama and Florida bookending a schedule that is not easy. You got 2 or 3 easy games and everything else is going to be tough. Like, Florida State has to work at getting back to being Florida State. Like, the shine is off Florida State because everybody who plays Florida State this year is going to think they can beat them, especially after last year. Like, just remember that. There were probably years when Peter Warwick was there and Charlie Ward and all those guys, like in the heyday of Florida State, and you walk into, I don't know what their stadium's called, Doak Campbell Stadium, and you were scared to play them before the game even began because they were that good. That's all gone now. That's all gone. Florida State now is just another team in the ACC because they were 2-10 last year. Now, granted, if Mike Norvell wants to play up the revenge angle, there are, 10 teams they lost to last year. If he wants to play up the revenge angle, but like, here's the thing, and we'll break in a second. I could talk college football forever. Depending on how that Alabama game goes, like, what's this team's mindset going to be? You get it. Like, Mike Norvell's going to have this team ready for the Alabama game. Like, they're going to be excited. The stadium's renovated. There's going to be this excitement for playing an SEC school and forgetting last year. And let's say Alabama goes in there and wins 35-10, 35-13. Like, you could pop the momentum balloon and just watch it go all over the place. Yeah, they'll beat East Texas A&M, but then there's a bye week before Kent State, so you're going to have 2 weeks of, oh, great, we're going to beat Kent State. We're the worst team in the FBS. This first game is so important for Florida State. Even though they're probably not going to win, they cannot get blown out. They cannot lose by a lot and have everybody start to doubt this team already. They just cannot. On the other hand, if they win that game, then the sky's the limit for Florida State. But I can't pick Florida State in that game. What, are you kidding me? I know that this is not Nick Saban's Alabama, but this is still Alabama. This is still the SEC going up against the ACC, and we, the ACC, rarely win those games. I'm looking to see real quick what the spread is. Florida State's a 12.5-point underdog in that game. So if they cover, that's great. If they do not cover and they do not look like they belong in the same field, then questions will start to get asked. Should Mike Norvell keep his job? And just think of all the questions and how much hotter they will get. How much hotter those questions will get if they lose September 26th in Charlottesville. Yes, I get it, Texter. Clemson got blown out against Alabama last year. That's yes, but nobody was questioning Dabo Swinney and saying, well, Dabo's probably not the good coach. It was a completely different. And then they reeled off 6 straight wins, including a win at Florida State. 327-0888, phone number, text line, 804 is the area code. But that's my early thoughts in the ACC. I think we're going to get a tremendous ACC season. I just think it's not going to translate into playoff spots. I think as of now, we're getting one, and we should probably enjoy that one spot. All right, let's take a timeout. Coming up, we'll get into some NBA, some baseball, some college basketball, all that good stuff. We'll take you up until 4, and then Bob will join in. I'll get Bob's thoughts on the early college football talk. Does he agree that he thinks we're going to have a good ACC season, but we may only get one playoff team? We'll do that at 4 o'clock, but we'll take you up until 4 now, 106.1 ESPN.
Tune into the ESPN Richmond Herman Allen Sports Play of the Day, presented exclusively by Herman Allen Plumbing and Cooling, your premier Lennox dealer.
When you first saw her, she was out walking her dog. You didn't notice her at first, but when you finally did, it was too late. Because at that moment, you were speeding. She was out walking her dog and only had a second to let go of the leash. Your foot was on the gas, and her life was on the line. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
What's the best place to shop this summer? Macy's. It's our first ever Star Deals Week. 6 full days of store-wide savings on everything you want. From shorts and swim to fine jewelry, all up to 50% off. Plus, home updates from Hotel Collection, Green Pan, and more, up to 60% off. Not only that, shop Macy's.com for new flash deals every day that everyone will love. No membership required. So don't miss Star Deals Week starting tomorrow at Macy's. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code MOVE to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code MOVE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code MOVE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
When you're hiring,
Have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hi, this is Joe Simpson with the Atlanta Braves. Keep it locked here on 106.1 ESPN, your home for the Atlanta Braves all season long.
Welcome back. 106.1 ESPN. Matt Joseph's here. By the way, it was Georgia who beat Clemson last year by a lot. It was Georgia. Texter here. John said, am I wrong or can UVA be sneaky good this year? They've made some improvements roster-wise. I think yes. Now, I'm not going to go to the level I went to Virginia Tech last year, but I think Virginia is going to be the better of the two state schools next year. I really do. And Virginia's got a schedule that lines them up nicely for a hot start. I mean, we've done the win-loss thing, but like they have 5 of their first 7 at home, and then 3 of their final 5 are on the road, but 5 of 7 at home with a soft start to the year. Coastal, NC State on the road, and William & Mary, Stanford. And then Florida State in a short week at home. Like, there's a chance for Virginia to start 4-1. Now, they need to play defense like they did last year. They need Chandler Morris to fit in this offense. This can't be a Brennan Armstrong situation. This has to be, they have to take advantage of it, because here's the bad side of having 5 of your first 7 at home. If you lose a lot of those, you won't have anybody for the November 8th Wake Forest game or the November 29th Virginia Tech game. So, like, the opportunity is there for a fast start for the Wahoos. I haven't done them yet. I haven't done their win total yet. I mean, we did it when it came out. But I have a feeling that I'm going to have a better number for them than I do for Virginia Tech. And that's part of that is spite because of how bad Virginia Tech made me look last year. And I will never do that again for Virginia Tech. I will never get on that bandwagon or drive the bus or any of that sort of things. I just will not. But yeah, that was just I think Virginia is going to be the better of the two teams. 3270888, that is the phone number. That is the text line. When I'm done with all my ACC stuff, we'll talk about it more. But I'm just kind of getting started with regards to all that. I do want to make another announcement on the show. I am officially closing the book on my thoughts that the Braves are going to make the playoffs. Book closed. Every time I think that there's a glimmer, they do their best job of closing that book. I mean, look, the Orioles, I've said all along the Orioles are a better team than their record. I have. I think the Orioles have a solid lineup. I think their bullpen's not terrible sometimes. I mean, their starting pitching is not great, but like, I think the Orioles have some talent, but like, they've started off this crucial homestand 2-7. Oh, they finished the homestand. Excuse me. They finished the homestand 2-7. 2-7. Like, that's just not good. So they're 39-50. They play at the A's and at the Cardinals. I mean, can I pick the Braves to win a series? Like, I can't do that. And so the Braves are now 13.5 out in the division. The Marlins are not only passing them, they are passing them. They are now 9 games out for a wild card spot. There are 5 teams ahead of them. And I wonder if they're going to be sellers at the deadline. I really do. I wonder if they're going to be sellers at the deadline. I still wouldn't trade Ronald Acuna unless I am overwhelmed. Like, you're not going to get Paul Skeens, but like, I need a Paul Skeens level package in terms of like, everybody's got to be just as good, because Ronald Acuna is very good. And unless there's something I'm missing, he can't be a bad person in the clubhouse. Like, I don't think he's the issue with the team. So it'll be interesting to see what Alex Anthopoulos does. I don't know who else they can sell. Marcell Ozuna? I mean, maybe you sell, I don't even know. Maybe there's a veteran in the bullpen you could sell, but like, this is just a cursed season. That's all. It's a cursed season. I think the Braves can win the division next year with the right move or two, but every time I want to say they're not dead, they do something to make sure that I have to say, yes, they are dead. And thankfully for Braves fans, they are off tonight. So you don't have to watch the team. You don't have to listen to it here. We want you to listen to it here. And you'll get some late games coming up starting tomorrow. But I don't know. It's just every time I want to just say that I've taken the toe off the bandwagon. If any of the sports books offer you a buyout on your play, take it, because I'm done. I know that Allen probably was done a while ago. I know Jordan was probably done a while ago. He's nodding his head, but I am now officially closing the book on them. You can close the book on the Nats. So my thoughts on the Nats here. You know, it's funny. We had Danny Wexman on Thursday last week. We had her on Wednesday, whatever day it was. Oh, no, it was Thursday. Never mind. Thursday. And I asked her, I said, do you fire Rizzo and Davey Martinez? And she said no. And she gave very viable reasons. She's like, you got to let him finish the season. I mean, it's not going anywhere. So what is that? What does not having a GM or a manager do? And of course, 2 days later, they fire both of them. Miguel Cairo is the interim manager of the Nationals. I mean, people are sadder about the Mike Rizzo part of it, but like, what has Mike Rizzo done lately for the Nationals? What has he done? He's made solid trades, but like lately, the last couple of years, what are the free agents he's brought in? What are the things he's done to fix this organization? Like, I get it. You should be sad that you don't like seeing any of these guys getting fired. I mean, Davey Martinez is probably a nice guy, and he's only managing with what he has. His bullpen's one of the worst in baseball, but like, I don't know. They're not all of a sudden going to rocket up the standings and make a playoff push. So why do it now? Why not just let them finish out the season? But who knows? So now they don't really have a GM. The trade deadline is going to be important because they're going to want to sell once again. The Lerners aren't a very smart. I've learned that a lot of owners with a lot of money aren't smart people. The Lerners are stupid. Jerry Jones is stupid. Mike Brown is stupid. There's a lot of people who are stupid, and they have a lot of money. So money doesn't mean that you're smart. But firing those two guys now, not necessarily the best idea in my mind. It's a lost season as it is. And I get if you want to do it in the offseason, you want to change directions, you want to have a GM do things a little bit differently. But now you're getting close to the trade deadline. I'm sure there's somebody who will take over. It's not like they're going to have nobody making decisions, but I don't know. Odd timing, to say the least, of this firing. Baseball tonight, no Orioles, no Nationals, no Braves. I'm going to guess your highlight series. I mean, Yu Darvish returns tonight. He makes his 2025 debut for the Padres. That's interesting. The Astros are playing some good baseball. They are hosting the Guardians. You have the Royals and the Pirates, Dodgers and Brewers. It's one of those Mondays where like half the league is traveling and the other half is starting 4-game series or 3-game series, depending upon what it is. Mondays are usually not the best for baseball. There are a couple of NBA Summer League games. We'll tell you where some of the guys are in the rosters in the NBA Summer League. There's some WNBA tonight. Dallas is playing, so you can watch Paige Beckers, who's having a tremendous season, rookie season for Dallas. So there's other options tonight than watching Major League Baseball. That's for sure. Let's take a timeout. We'll do our final segment. We'll tell you where some interesting players are with regards to the NBA Summer League, the Vegas Summer League getting underway in a couple of days. The LA and Utah ones are underway now. So we'll tell you about where some of these players are. You're listening to 106.1 ESPN.
Looking for the perfect golf course? Check out RVA's best kept secret, Queenfield Golf Club, just a few minutes past Mechanicsville. Reserve your tee time today at queenfieldgolf.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code MOVE to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code MOVE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code MOVE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Surprise! Your expenses this month were way higher than you expected. Also, you forgot to renew your website domain, and now you're in a bidding war.
You should see the look on your face.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Plus, the fridge died in the break room, and now everything smells weird.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 7 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Getting zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Hey, that's the spirit. Right now, we're celebrating free with a free STP oil filter when you buy 5 quarts of oil and free Duralast brake pads when you buy 2 rotors. Like always, free battery testing, charging, and recycling at every store. Celebrate free at AutoZone. Now through July 28th.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Fits the Bill is serving up sizzling sports talk
If you get ranch with your wing, that's not correct.
with a side of scorching food thoughts.
But you take a tuna fish sandwich, barbecue chips, throw that on there, crunch it up, delicious.
Fits the Bill with Jack Fitzpatrick, where every take is well done. Weekdays 8 to 10 a.m. on ESPN Richmond.
Welcome back. Final segment, 106.1 ESPN. Matt Joseph's here. Mashup Hour starting at the top of the hour. Bob will be joining us. We'll get his thoughts on a lot of the topics that I brought up here on the show. But I am a huge nerd when it comes to the Vegas Summer League and the Summer League stuff because I enjoy it's terrible basketball, actually. Like, let's be completely honest. It's not good basketball, but it's great to see a lot of the college players that we followed. And, they come from overseas and they play for the NBA teams and then, they decide and things like that. So there's some interesting names. We don't have a ton of names. We have 9 players of local interest. There could be more. I don't count all the players who used to play here and went on to other places. Obviously we're rooting for Max Shulga with the Boston Celtics. I mean, I don't really care. I can root for the Celtics Summer League team. It doesn't really affect me. Talon Peter of Liberty's on the Pacers. Armando Bacot, Tyler Burton, and Efton Reed are all on the Grizzlies. The Sixers have Jack Clark, Kive Aluma, and Landers Nolly. So it's like a Hokies reunion in Philly, but it's not really in Philly. And then Ryan Dunn of UVA is playing for the Suns. Those are the ones I saw. There's other guys who used to play here and stuff like that, but those are the 9 guys that I've seen on Vegas Summer League rosters, and pretty much all of them are out right now. So I don't think there will be anybody else added, but that means I guess we are Memphis Grizzlies fans in this city. All right, it was good to see Armando Bacot had some highlights. I follow him on Twitter. He retweets his highlights. So it's good to see him. I hope he makes a NBA roster. That would be fantastic. And of course, some of the others as well. But those are the Vegas Summer League. It starts the 10th. It starts on Thursday. And most nights there will be on ESPN and NBA TV Vegas Summer League games. So that'll be something to see as we go forward. But we'll keep you posted on how these guys are doing and what kind of stuff is being written about them and their chances on making their respective rosters. All right, that'll do it for the show today. This week, we're going to work on a whole bunch of stuff. We'll try and continue Matt's book club. There are some books still out there that we need to get the authors on the show. So we'll certainly do that. And as I said, don't forget on Friday, we'll be out at Colonial Downs for the first of many shows, live remotes out at Colonial Downs as the meet begins on Wednesday. So please head on down to New Kent and check it out because they gathered a lot of momentum for the off-season races. And now that it's in season, go on out there and support the folks over at Colonial Downs. And as I said, about 2 weeks, we are 2 weeks away from ACC Media Day. It's actually Big 12 Media Day today, or at least the first of, I'm guessing, 3 or 4 media days for the Big 12. So we'll certainly keep you posted if anything comes out of there as they try and get themselves to be as relevant as the other media days. Because let's be honest, they are third tier along with the ACC. Thanks to Jordan for all of his hard work. We're working on a couple of things for the show tomorrow, but stick around because we've got the Mashup Hour, Bob and I, from 4 until 5. And then Bob will take you home from 5 until 6. 327-0888. That is the phone number, and the text line 804 is the area code. Stick around through the break. You're listening to 106.1 ESPN.
Herman Allen Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Online at hermanallenplumbing.com.
When you first saw her, she was out walking her dog. You didn't notice her at first. But when you finally did, it was too late. Because at that moment, you were speeding. She was out walking her dog and only had a second to let go of the leash. Your foot was on the gas, and her life was on the line. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
What's the best place to shop this summer? Macy's. It's our first ever Star Deals Week. 6 full days of store-wide savings on everything you want. From shorts and swim to fine jewelry, all up to 50% off. Plus, home updates from Hotel Collection, Green Pan, and more, up to 60% off. Not only that, shop Macy's.com for new flash deals every day that everyone will love. No membership required. So don't miss Star Deals Week starting tomorrow at Macy's. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Golf season is here at Hunting Hawk Golf Club. Plan your next golf outing for your kids' athletic team, church group, or fundraiser online at huntinghawk.com. That's huntinghawk.com.
How would you like a free dinner? That's right, a free dinner. Hi, I'm Jeff Trice with the Insurance Doctor, and I've been telling you for years how nobody beats the Insurance Doctor's prices. And now I'll prove it. Just bring your current auto insurance policy into the Insurance Doctor location nearest you, and if we can't beat your price, I'll buy you dinner at the restaurant of your choice. So now is the perfect time to shop your auto insurance, because I'll either save you a ton of money on your car insurance or dinner's on me. Either way, you get paid. Our competitors like to say they can save you money on your car insurance, but only the Insurance Doctor has a low price guarantee. So no matter who you're with, we will beat their price. It's guaranteed. Oh, and by the way, I'll throw in your own personal agent for free. Just bring your current auto insurance policy into the Insurance Doctor location nearest you. I'll either save you a ton of money on your car insurance or dinner's on me. So call us today and see why I say nobody beats the Insurance Doctor.
When I have an asthma attack, I feel scared. It's kind of like an elephant is on my chest. I feel like I'm choking. Sometimes my parents have to take me to the hospital.
You know how to react to their asthma attacks. Here's how to prevent them. Call 1-866-NO-ATTACKS. Visit www.noattacks.org or call your doctor, because even one attack is one too many.
I feel like a fish with no water.
Brought to you by the EPA and the Ad Council.
Welcome to the Maya Miguel Challenge. Meet Maya in the game. Maya and her friends want you to get up and play, because it's always more fun to be active. Just go to letsmove.gov and look for Maya and Miguel. You'll find tons of fun activities that'll help keep you healthy and active. Whether you play sports, run, dance, or jump in place, just get up and play at least an hour a day. Take the Maya and Miguel Challenge today at letsmove.gov. A message from the Ad Council and HHS.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad
You
Council.
don't need to get a second job as a stuntman to save money. You just need feedthepig.org. Don't get left behind. Get tips and tools at feedthepig.org. Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
How long does it take to get to the forest?
That's not far.
What are we going to do? Hike?
Sure.
Are we there yet?
Yep. It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Visit discovertheforest.org, brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
Score alerts, hot takes, and Richmond's loudest fans. W291CL Lakeside Richmond and WURV HD2 Richmond. Bring the noise and game on 106.1 ESPN.
This is Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown. ESPN Shams Charania reports the Heat, Jazz, and Clippers make a 3-team trade. Miami gets Norman Powell. The Clippers get John Collins. And Utah gets Kevin Love, Kyle Anderson, and a future second-round pick. Pacers president Kevin Pritchard confirms today the team will take no chances with Tyrese Halliburton.
He will not play next year, though. He would not jeopardize that.
Bob.
So he don't get any hopes up that he will play. But again, we'll have some guys, and hopefully they'll have some opportunities to grow.
Kevin Pritchard on WISH-TV. Halliburton tore his right Achilles in Game 7 of the NBA Finals. 38-year-old Padres right-hander Yu Darvish will make his season debut tonight in San Diego against the Diamondbacks. He's been out since spring training with inflammation in his right elbow. Two-time home run derby champ Pete Alonso of the Mets says he won't be in this year's derby next week. Alonso says he's never really fully enjoyed the All-Star break and wants to be in position to help the team in the second half.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Tuesday, we asked friend of the show, Adam Schefter, what is the Giants' plan when it comes to rookie quarterback Jackson Dart when he joins the show at 8 a.m. Eastern. It's unsportsmanlike. Weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Check this out, y'all. Audio level, full volume. It's your time.
Live from the capital of the Commonwealth. This is the Mashup Hour of Border to Border and the Sports Huddle with Matt Josephs and Bob Black.
Welcome in on a Monday. Matt Josephs, Bob Black here for the Mashup Hour. It's been a while, and we're looking forward to it as we hope that Bob is nice, refreshed, and ready to go. How are you, Bob? I'm doing well. How was your time off? Are you ready to jump back into the action? Yes, Colonial Downs is starting to meet on Wednesday, so we're looking forward to that. And they're going Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday this year, so they maximize the amount. But yes, we will be out there every Friday to shake hands and kiss babies, I guess, Bob. Yeah, we've got the keychains. There are some keychains that we'll bring out there and stuff like that. So yeah, we could certainly give some stuff away. But Bob, we are getting closer to training camp. We are getting closer to media days. The Big 12 begins their 2 days of media days starting tomorrow. So football is rapidly approaching on us. Well, I don't know if you saw over the weekend, there was a report by Jeremy Fowler that basically Terry McLaurin's still not happy where everything is with regards to his contract. I still maintain I don't care about that. I still think it's going to get done. It's not a great headline to hear, but, I'm not worried yet. Yeah, it's interesting because when I look at the contract numbers for the wide receivers, Bob, the top wide receivers in football are 26, 27, 28, 25, and Terry McLaurin will be 30 when the season begins. So I feel like that's kind of where the sticking point is that he wants to get paid like one of those guys, but the age of him is not helping in his cause. Now, how much do you think we've seen in the NBA where the agents are pushing for more money because they want to help their other clients. And if somebody takes a pay cut, then that doesn't help future clients. How much do you think it's the agents holding Terry McLaurin out or Terry holding Terry out? Yeah, that feels like I agree. I feel like Terry's the type of guy who wants to get out there. And that's why I've said day 3 of training camp, because I think he'll watch and see other people at training camp and he'll see his teammates and they'll, talk to him through the media and everything. And then he'll just want to get it done. And, he'll go to his agents and say, look, take this offer and then let's get this over with. Right, because this is the window's open. I mean, the window's wide open, and it's certainly more open because Jaden Daniels' contract is not what it's going to be in a couple of years when he comes off the rookie deal. I feel like I've asked you this before, but it's been a couple weeks probably. So give me your order in terms of who signs next from TJ Watt, Micah Parsons, Terry McLaurin, and Trey Hendrickson. Yes. So we think Jerry Jones will actually do something intelligent.
Yes. Yeah, I do.
All right. Yeah. Hey, listen, Micah Parsons was there in all the offseason activities. He did everything he needed to. Of course, he's, still wants his contract, but at least he's been there and maybe they reward him, for doing that sort of thing.
Yeah, no, I'm going to go with that one. I'm going to go, as crazy as that sounds, I'm going to go with Micah Parsons first, Watt second, and then McLaurin third. How about that?
Yeah, I feel like I went TJ Watt first. The Steelers, Bob, are win now. Like, this is not a.
They sure are.
I mean, you can't add Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf and make all the moves that they've made and basically say, yeah, we're trying for a couple years from now. So, like, I feel like that's going to give them the extra oomph to want to get this TJ Watt stuff done, even if it's just for 1 year. Like, even if you give him a 1 year heavily incentivized contract with a lot of guaranteed money, I feel like you just buy yourself 1 more year and then worry about in 2 years when Aaron Rodgers is presumably gone and you may be starting from scratch again. Yeah, see, as people know listening to this show, Bob, I'm more cynical than you are. So I feel like it's probably not, because he's either going to do really well and he's going to say, well, I could keep playing this game, or he's going to do really terribly and say, I can't let this be my last mark on the sport. Yes, their win total is 8.5 for the coming season. Well, and the funny thing is, Baltimore's is 11.5. So they are perceived to be 3 games behind the leader in your division. That means Vegas, I'm guessing, is not projecting very much for them this season. By the way, Cincinnati's is 9.5 and the Browns is 4.5. So there's a 3-team race, and then there's Cleveland, who's going to be deciding things. By the way, I thought it was interesting. I guess it was yesterday or Saturday I saw Myles Garrett. I don't know what outlet he said this through, but Myles Garrett said he'd like Joe Flacco to be the starter for this year, which, makes a lot of sense for this coming season, because I'm guessing he wants to win. And I think Joe Flacco, of the 4 or 5 competitors, is the best chance to win. Do you want to guess how old Joe Flacco is? There you go. He is exactly 40, January 1985. So he will be 40 this coming season. Well, because I'm assuming wherever he goes, he'd be the backup. Like, I'm guessing he went to Cleveland thinking he was going to be the backup, and maybe he stays in Cleveland and is the backup to Deshaun Watson going forward. Who knows? I guess that depends on what Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders do. But maybe Joe Flacco stays in Cleveland to be Deshaun Watson's backup. But yes, he is 40 years old. He was drafted in the first round of the 2008 draft. Yes. No, they hold they hold iPads now, Bob. Come on. What do you think his contract is this year? He's making $4.25 million this year. So I'm looking up now to see how much money he's made in his whole career, because obviously he's been in the league for a while. Oh, Pro Football Reference used to have all the contracts for these guys, and I guess they don't have them on their page anymore. But he's got to be one of those guys. Now, like, look, he's not quite the Kirk Cousins years in terms of all the money that Kirk Cousins has gotten, but like longevity, he's got to make a lot of money so far. No, he is probably a backup. I'm gonna guess he probably. So Joe Flacco in his career, Bob, has made almost $183 million. No. Correct. That's incredible. I just looked up Kirk Cousins' career earnings. I can't. This is just I can't even. I mean, this guy's a Hall of Famer for this alone. Bob, his career earnings are almost $294 million. $294 million in his career for doing essentially nothing. Essentially nothing. He's won no playoff games, I believe. I don't think he's ever won a playoff game. I'm looking it up now. I mean, he didn't make the playoffs. He didn't make the playoffs. Oh, yeah. Okay. He won one playoff game and no, he was with the Vikings. Yeah. A lot. Too long. Too long. Uh, 327-0888, phone number, text line 804 is the area code. Let's go to Leaf. How's it going, Leaf? Oh, he dropped off. I think he heard Kirk Cousins' numbers and said, I can't deal with this. Look at you coming back with jokes. Look at you. You wrote this stuff down. You have all this stuff written and memorized. Wow. Well done, Bob. I cannot. I'm not. Oh, goodness. Okay. Okay. Well, let me guess. Citizens Bank Park. There you go. There you go. Okay. I like it. There you go. All right. We'll take a timeout, but coming back, we'll talk a little baseball. The Nationals clean house. I don't know if Bob heard my announcement, but I'm out on the Braves now. It's finally over. And we now have an all-star game roster, and we're starting to get more in the home run derby. We can talk about that as well. We'll do some baseball talk next. 106.1 ESPN.
Traffic reports on 106.1 ESPN Richmond, brought to you by Herman Allen Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, a premier Lennox dealer. Online at hermanallenplumbing.com.
Summertime in RVA means Richmond Kickers soccer games at City Stadium. Family fun, food trucks, and men's soccer action on the field. Tickets online at richmondkickers.com.
This is Greg Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory. Recently, the owner of a large mattress retailer was proudly sharing how over 65% of their queen mattress prices are $15.99 or higher. At the Original Mattress Factory, our focus is a little bit different. We build superior quality mattresses right here in town and do our best to save you as much money as possible. That's why at OMF, nearly 80% of our queen mattresses are lower than those prices others brag about. Stop in or check out originalmattress.com to learn more.
Summertime in RVA means one thing. Golf season is here. If you're looking for the perfect golf course, head over to Queenfield Golf Club, located just a few minutes east of Mechanicsville. Queenfield offers a beautifully secluded 18-hole course, spacious driving range, and professionally maintained practice greens and bunkers. Schedule your tee time today by calling 804-769-8838 or reserve a spot online at queenfieldgolf.com and make Queenfield Golf Club your new favorite course.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code MOVE to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code MOVE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code MOVE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Surprise! Your expenses this month for way higher than you expected. Also, you forgot to renew your website domain, and now you're in a bidding war.
You should see the look on your face.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Plus, the fridge died in the break room, and now everything smells weird.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Hey, that's the spirit. Right now, we're celebrating free with a free STP oil filter when you buy 5 quarts of oil and free Duralast brake pads when you buy 2 rotors. Like always, free battery testing, charging, and recycling at every store. Celebrate free at AutoZone. Now through July 28th.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Hey, Richmond, looking for more Fits the Bill content and behind-the-scenes looks into the show? Well, follow us on Instagram at Fits the Bill ESPN RVA. You'll get all of the clips, exclusive hot takes, and so much more. Follow us at Fits the Bill ESPN RVA on Instagram.
Bob and Matt and Bob, back with you, mashing it up on a Monday afternoon, another hot one in the capital city. Hope you're staying cool and hydrated out there. Mashup Hour, border to border in the Sports Huddle, 106.1 ESPN. Dial us up, 804-327-0888. That's also our text line as well. So Matt promised some baseball talk for this segment. So, okay, Matt, I am both of the belief that this was expected, and it was also surprising, the firings of Davey Martinez and Mike Rizzo. I would say this was expected at season's end, maybe even at the All-Star break and post Major League Baseball draft, but certainly not when it happened. This sounds like a knee-jerk reaction to me that the Lerners just got fed up because they got swept by the Red Sox and they decided, we got to do something. We're just going to do it right now. The Rizzo one really surprises me. The Martinez one I kind of thought was coming, that, you know, even though he managed them to a World Series championship in 2019, that he wasn't long for that job. They hadn't made the progress that you thought they would this year, particularly with the talented youngsters that they have. I could see that coming. But Rizzo's kind of put this whole thing together. He put the World Series team together in 2019. I didn't think they would dismantle it to that point, and particularly right now with the draft right around the corner. So I'm not sure what the Nats are thinking. They have great young talent. They didn't do a whole lot to supplement that great young talent in the offseason. Not sure what else they were expecting. This seems like a knee-jerk reaction move to me.
Well, it's funny because I had Danny Wexman on last week, and I asked her, should they fire him, or do you think she would? Does she think that they're going to get fired? And she said no. She thought they were going to last the season because, you know, give Rizzo, you know, a chance to work that during the draft. The trade deadline's coming up. And, it's not like firing Davey Martinez is going to all of a sudden push them into a playoff chase. Like Miguel Cairo is not going to push the right buttons and get them in the playoffs. So it just seemed weird timing wise because they also had like a 10-game losing streak earlier in the season and didn't do anything.
Yeah, no, and he's a placeholder. That just gets them to the end of the season, and then they'll go out and find, their next manager for sure. So we've now had 4 already, even before the All-Star break this year. Obviously, you had, the Bud Black in Colorado, just kind of put him out of his misery. Derek Shelton in Pittsburgh, Brandon Hyde in Baltimore, and now Dave Martinez in Washington. What the heck's going on with baseball on the Beltway here? You've probably never even thought about this, but are you of the belief that the sport of Major League Baseball is better when Baltimore, particularly Baltimore, is good? As they've been the last couple of years, tradition-rich franchise, all the great Hall of Fame players that roll right off your tongue. That baseball in general, Major League Baseball in general, is better when Baltimore. I think there are a few cities like that when Baltimore is good. You kind of buy into that, and then if you throw Washington into that mix as well, I realize they're not like the proudest tradition-rich franchise in the world, but you're combining Baltimore and Washington, and those are two pretty major markets.
No, I don't. I don't think Baltimore's up there. I mean, I think if you're really looking for like those teams, like I think it's the Yankees and the Red Sox. I think it's the Mets ideally. I would think it's the Cubs and the Dodgers. Like I think those are the programs more than the Orioles. I mean, I think it's nice in the East Coast, but I don't think they care about the Orioles in the West Coast.
Okay. I mean, I think they have a pretty proud tradition. I would put Baltimore in. I would put Cincinnati in there, to be honest with you. I'd put Cincinnati and Baltimore both in there, but not Washington. I mean, the D.C. factor, it means, a little bit. Obviously, nation's pastime, theoretically, capital, all of that. But in general, I wouldn't. But I do think Baltimore is one of those franchises that helps the sport when they're good. And I think this is particularly bad timing because they've been good the last couple of years and fell flat. And I think both franchises kind of mirrored each other, Matt. They didn't do it. Neither one of them did enough in the offseason. And I think they're kind of paying the price for it right now. The Orioles in a big way because everybody felt they'd contend with the Yankees. The Nationals, I don't think anybody thought they were going to win the division this year, but that they would be better than they are. And I had said it a few weeks. I didn't think Dave Martinez was going to survive this season, but it probably would have come later in the year than it did. But I don't know. They're off to a whole new remake of that franchise now, it seems to me.
Yeah, but I mean, I think Rizzo did a lot right in terms of trades because he has the pieces there. I think it's the problem is the 1 year, the 1 year free agent signings. I think that those are the issues more than anything else.
I think he needed another player or two of veteran status that could have come in there this year and helped solidify things a little bit with all these young players, and they really didn't provide that kind of help for them this year. I do think even as young as they are and still getting their feet wet and all of that, I think they're underachieving. They have, some star players. I mean, they got as many all-stars as the Phillies did. I can tell you that between Mackenzie Gore and James Wood, who I'm obviously thrilled about because of our connections with his dad, is tremendous. But they probably should have been a little bit better, and some of those youngsters probably handled a little bit better as well. Now, maybe you blame the GM for that, and that's the reason Rizzo's gone. I don't know, but I certainly would have kept that baseball mind in my front office.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, especially the timing, with and not to say that Mike Rizzo and his staff probably don't have a big board for the upcoming draft or anything. And they're the number one pick, right? So, they should know who they're going to draft at number one, even without him. But, it's very odd timing to do that.
Yes, agreed. I agree. It's very, like I said, I think this could have been a knee-jerk reaction. You mentioned the 10 or 11 game losing streak, and now they just got swept, by a Red Sox team that is a little, depleted, hanging in there. I give the Red Sox a lot of credit, actually, because they're still kind of in this thing, even after the Devers trade and all of that. But they got swept at home by the Red Sox. I really think it was a knee-jerk reaction, and they just did it. I do think the Davey Martinez thing was coming probably at the end of the season. And I don't know who the next, manager of the Washington Nationals is, but whoever it is going to have a pretty good young base core nucleus to work with. Now, I think they're a ways off from competing with Philly and New York, and I think the Braves will be back. I mean, I'm with you. The Braves are pretty much sunk for this year. I hate to use the injuries as a crutch because every team has them, but they just keep getting hit by injury after injury after injury. So I do think they're out of it at this point. And like you said, the Orioles are probably a little bit closer to being a playoff team than the Braves are at this point, although I don't think either one of them is making it.
Yeah. I can't keep saying, well, the Braves have a good lineup. Well, the Braves have decent starting pitching. I can't keep saying that. It's just not going to happen. And sometimes there's just seasons like this, Bob, where you have injuries and things just don't go your way. And I'm not out on the Braves in 2026, but I think for this year, it's just that's it, unfortunately.
Yep. And they haven't had a year like this in a long, long time. What'd they win? 6 straight division titles or something like that. Maybe it was even more than that before the Phillies ended that run last year. And they were still competitive. I just think you're right. It happens sooner or later. It's going to happen, and new teams are going to take over, and they will regroup. The injuries to their starting pitching just really, really have destroyed them. And yet, they've got most of their offense back now. And it's not doing great at this point. Although between Olsen and Acuna, you'd think they'd be a little bit better with that kind of a 1-2 punch in their lineup. And Strider, they still have, Grant Holmes, but they lost Schwellenbach. They're decimated by injuries. So yeah, I think I was with you, Matt. I was worried about them. I kept peeking at the Braves in the rearview mirror. I'm not sure I'm doing that anymore. They're 13.5 back. They're 11 under 500. They're showing no signs of coming out of this. Now they're off to a West Coast trip before the All-Star break. Now, some of that's the Athletics, but still, the West Coast trips are pretty hard on those Eastern teams.
Yeah. Yeah. And now they have to decide if they want to trade Ronald Acuna, which I wouldn't do, and I can't believe they would do it, but at least there's some rumblings and rumors that they could consider it.
Yeah, you'd be getting a boatload for him. I don't think you do that. I think he's probably one of their most popular, if not their most popular player at this point. They already lost Freddie Freeman several years ago. They're still getting over that. This All-Star thing is going to be really interesting down there because the Freddie Freeman memories are going to come back with him starting at first base for the Dodgers at Truist Field. It's a good thing Acuna made that All-Star team, even though he missed the first 6 weeks with injury, and will be in that starting lineup to kind of supersede the Freddie Freeman storyline as well. And Acuna is going to be in the home run derby. So, you got to hope that that's going to be Atlanta's kind of trademark for the season is kind of the All-Star game and festivities to kind of make them feel good. Because once the regular season starts again, I'm with you, Matt. I don't see it at this point. That it would be a Herculean move if they were to make a run from 13.5 games back and almost 10 back in the wild card. They're 9 out in the wild card, so that's not even within sight for them right now.
Let me ask you this: is this a fair trade? Schwellenbach and Acuna for Paul Skeens.
Oh, I think you got to get more than that for Skeens.
More than a top-notch outfielder and a top-notch pitcher?
No, I think so. I think you got to get more. He's only second year. He's on his way, in my opinion. 2-time All-Star in 2 years in the league. Leads the league in earned run average. Quality start almost every time. I think you got to get more than that for something. I don't know what. But I think you need to throw in a couple more guys in the minor leagues or something. I can't see that being a 2-for-1. It's got to be more than that.
Okay. All right. That was just something that came up in my head, and obviously it's not. No one's gonna have. It's one of those video game trades, Bob. I'm doing my Sega Genesis trades right there. That's what they do.
So who's your all-star starter for the National League there, Matt? Is it Paul Skeens or is it Zach Wheeler?
We did the Paul Skeens thing last year. That was cute and everything. And let's let the big boys and the veterans do it. I think it's Zach Wheeler this year.
Yeah, obviously I'm with you on that, particularly after yesterday. More on that to come in the 5:00 hour on the Sports Huddle. Kind of a peek ahead to some of what we'll be dealing with at the 5:00 hour. But here's the other reason. Well, a couple more reasons. Obviously, us being Philly fans would like Zach Wheeler to start. He's from the Atlanta area. Look, he grew up there. He went to games, maybe not Truist Field, but he went to games in Atlanta. I think you got to start him for that reason, plus what he's done all year. He was the pitcher of the month in June. And here's the other thing on Wheeler. And we were talking about Aaron Rodgers in this category of, I'm done after this year. Well, Zach Wheeler said he's done after this contract expires in 27. And I kind of believe him. as well. He's got 3 kids, 4 kids. I think it's 4. I think he just had the 4th when he was out on paternity leave for a week or so. He's made his money. He's going to make more. He's at the top of his game. I kind of believe we've only got 2 more years to see Zach Wheeler. Now, he's probably going to get 2 more All-Star appearances as well, but we got a shot here for him to start in basically his hometown. I think you gotta yield to him on that one. And I actually believe him even more than I believe Aaron Rodgers. I think in 2 years, even if he has 2 more great seasons, he will walk away from the game. I think he'll be 37, maybe something like that, 36, somewhere around there. I do think he walks away from the game at the end of the 2027 season.
I agree. I think that I agree. I think he said it so early, Bob, that I'm 100% going to think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I think he's got that kind of personality and makeup about him. And yeah, he's only 35 now, so he'll be 37 or so when the 2027 season ends. By the way, I got a real bone to pick here. Like, I just Googled Zach Wheeler, and the first picture of him that comes up still has him in a darn Mets uniform. Are you kidding me?
That's all right.
Oh, get that out of there.
Remind them what they could have had.
That's not bad. I like that. That's good. Yeah, keep that up there so they can say, oh, this is what you had. But then the next picture, of course, is in his brilliant Phillies red. So, but anyway, just kind of struck me. But yes, he will be 37, 38, right in there at the end of his contract. And I do think he walks away no matter what's happened in his career.
327-0888. That is the phone number. That is the text line. 804 is the area code. All right, let's take a time out. Coming up, Bob, I just found an article, a great list that you and I will enjoy discussing. It's in The Athletic. Do you want me to tell you what it's about, or you want to go into it? You want to go into it head first?
Well, just give me a little more, maybe.
All right, it's a college football list.
Okay, that's good.
And it's not having to do with this season, but it's a fun college football list that they just put up on The Athletic. So
fun college football list. I like it.
All right, we'll do that next as we take you up until 5 for the Mashup Hour. You're listening to 106.1 ESPN.
Serving Richmond and beyond for over 20 years, Bon Air Shell features a full line of automotive services. Check out bonairshell.com, loaded with coupons, specials, and more to see all that they can do for your car and your peace of mind. And now with their Fuel Rewards program, you can save at least 5 cents per gallon on every fill-up. Learn more at fuelrewards.com. Go see the team at Bon Air Shell, 8762 West Huguenot Road. Go to bonairshell.com or call them at 272-3232. That's 272-3232.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code MOVE to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code MOVE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code MOVE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Surprise! Your accountant just emailed to say your quarterly taxes are way higher than you were expecting.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Also, your favorite employee is leaving. They're going to pursue their dream of being a veterinarian.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies the same item. Current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at Lowe's.com/lowest price guarantee.
Are you over 50 and constantly feeling tired, bloated, or just a little off? Don't ignore it. Those could be signs that your liver is crying for help. As we age, our liver, which is essential for metabolism, digestion, immunity, and detoxification, needs extra support and protection. If neglected, it can leave you feeling sluggish and constantly off your game. That's where Active Liver from New Nordic comes in. Available in easy-to-take tablets or delicious gummies, Active Liver combines powerful natural ingredients like turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract to help support healthy liver function. With Active Liver, you're giving your body an essential daily defense against toxins from alcohol, fatty foods, and sweets, helping you reclaim your energy, improve digestion, lose the bloat, and strengthen your immunity so you can look and feel your best again. Protect your liver and give it the support that it deserves by making Active Liver from New Nordic part of your daily wellness routine. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com.
Your trash is treasure at CNC Colored Recycling. From copper wire to radiator ends, cans to lead batteries, CNC Colored Recycling will pay cash or check for your unwanted scrap metal. No load is too large or too small. Don't dump it, recycle it, and get paid at CNC Colored Recycling, just south of Maple Street on Route 1 in Ashland. Free local container service is available too. CNC Colored Recycling, open every weekday and a half day on Saturday. Check the latest cash scrap prices online right now at cccullet.com. That's CCCULLET.
Looking for the perfect sports talk to start your day? Well, we fits the bill. I'm Jack Fitzpatrick, bringing you some takes, debates, and everything sports. Fits the bill every weekday from 8 to 10 a.m. right here on ESPN Richmond. Tune in because this show fits just right.
Welcome back. 106.1 ESPN. Matt Josephs, Bob Black here for the Mashup Hour. We'll get to this fun list in the Athletic in just a second. But Roger's on the phone. What's going on, Roger?
Good evening, gentlemen. How are you guys?
Doing well.
All right. I thought I heard you and Bob saying that you would love to see Zach Wheeler back in the Mets.
I did. I saw him in an archive photo on Google, and that's as close as he's going to get to the Mets uniform, Roger.
Yeah, well, we had him and we let him go.
Yeah,
just like
did.
all other great pitchers we let go. Nolan Ryan, and that's a killer. But I do want to say something. Matt said something about 3 weeks ago, and I tell you, I think he has a crystal ball. First, when the NBA playoffs start, he wanted all of the team, the Knicks and Indiana, to lose all of the home games, and they did.
Knicks and Boston.
And then he said that he didn't think the Mets was all of that because they was about to play Atlanta and Philly. And I think we lost 12 out of 15. So, Matt, you're not allowed to say anything negative again the rest of the year about the Mets.
Well, all I said, Roger, was I just didn't believe in the rotation because I had a Mets fan call up and correct me and say the rotation was doing really well statistically. And I said, it's good now, but let's see what they're going to do in July and August. And I never root for injuries, Roger, so I do not want that to happen. But, I mean, it's just this is kind of what baseball is, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I give it to you. Just don't say nothing negative about the stock market, please.
Yeah, definitely not about the stock market. But Roger, they just took 2 out of 3 from your Subway Series hated rivals. You should be pretty upbeat on a Monday after taking 2 out of 3 from the Yankees. Come on.
Oh yeah, well look, after being 2 weeks in the hole, losing 12 out of 15,
I know.
I needed something to get myself geared up.
Well,
But
both of those teams were deep down in the Subway. So you keep the Yankees down there, and you guys start climbing out.
Yeah, but and that's the question I wanted to ask you. Do you think the Yankees are done for the year?
No, I don't. I don't. I hate using the cliche about being a long season and all of that, but I don't think they're out of this thing yet. Although I will say, of all the 2 teams I've been most impressed by, well, the Tigers are the first one because they are just blowing through everybody. But the Toronto Blue Jays have been really, really impressive to me. I don't know if they can keep this up for another 70, 80 games, but they have been really impressive to take over that division lead. But I think the Yankees have another run in them, Roger. Even with the injuries that they've had to pitching in particular, I think they have another run in them.
Well, I sure hope you're wrong. So, Matt, you go ahead and say something negative about them.
Hey, in all seriousness, Roger, if I'm you and a Mets fan, and I would never want that, believe me, the bottom of that order is what would worry me. I think 1 through 4, maybe even 1 through 5, at least 4. They're pretty darn good offensively. But, man, I've watched a decent number of Mets games over the last several weeks. The last 4 batters or so in their order have been automatic outs, and that's not going to carry you very far.
I agree with you 100%. It seems like all those guys want to hit home runs instead of just slapping the ball, getting on base. But I guess you get the big dollars by hitting home runs.
You do. But that's what that's what you have Soto and Alonso for. So, let those guys do that. Yeah. So they'll hang in there. It'll be a 2-team race the rest of the way.
I hope so. Another question. What's the deal with Terry McLaurin?
Matt?
I think there's nothing wrong here. I think there's nothing to see. I've said all along, I think day 3 of training camp is when he's going to sign his contract. I think this is an agent thing. I think they're giving him decent offers, and he probably is okay with them, but I think the agent wants more.
Okay. All right. I want to hold you to that, man.
Okay.
So how's the back feeling, Bob?
Great. Had a good time off. Took a lot of nice leisurely walks. Limbered it up. Doing well. Getting back to normal.
Good.
Thanks.
Well, look, you two gentlemen have a great afternoon.
All right, Roger. Thanks.
Thank you, Roger.
You got a real believer in Roger there, Matt.
I'm just saying. I as I said, I never want root for injuries, Bob. But I just, rotations like the Mets rotation are great for spurts, and then they have, we'll see what happens. I mean, they're going to get Manaea back at some point. And McGill's going to come back at some point. And so we'll see what happens, but just, their statistics they had for the first part of the season were just unsustainable.
And they've proven that. So I think you're right about that. And again, I look at the bottom of their order and I don't think that's sustainable for them either, but I think they hang around. I do. I think they have enough talent to hang around and probably be at least a wild card team.
Probably. Probably they just need to, They need to make a trade. Ideally, they should go and get a starter, probably, if they can get one.
Yep. They're in Baltimore the next 3 nights starting tomorrow. So that'll be an interesting series. Mets and Orioles at Camden Yards.
I'd say they should get a starter from the Orioles, but they don't have any.
No, they don't. Yeah. Starting pitching is at a premium. That's why our team is in such good shape, Matt, because they've got 5 or 6 legit starters in Philly if they need them. Now, if the offense could just catch up to the pitching, we'd really have something.
Exactly. That would be really nice. But, it's 162 game season, Bob. No one hits every single game.
Yeah, but they're falling into their bad habits of flailing away at bad pitches and leaving runners in scoring position. And, if it had not been Zach Wheeler yesterday, they would not have won that game. Even though only gave up 1 run, so they gotta shore things up offensively. And I don't want to get into a Philly debate here, but they've got both Kyle Schwarber and JT Realmuto up for contracts at the end of this year. I think it has become extremely clear which one of those two they have to keep. And I know Realmuto's value behind the plate, what he does with pitchers, and all of that, but they got to find a way to keep Kyle Schwarber.
And Ranger Suarez.
Yeah, I think that one happens. I think he has said publicly several times, through the team interpreter, of course, that he grew up in the Philly organization. He wants to play his whole career in Philadelphia. So, obviously, money will still talk, but I think the Phillies will make the Suarez thing happen. Too bad he wasn't an all-star. It was just very crowded with pitching. And I think they should go Schwarber over Realmuto. Much as I love JT and, the value behind the plate, he has just slowed offensively. And talk about an automatic out. He's kind of become that as well. So, and Schwarber, on the other hand, is he is having a contract year. Let's put it that way. He's making himself a lot of money this season.
Yep. And he's doing it by being the guy who's hitting a lot of home runs and striking out a bunch and just kind of being one of those guys.
Yep. But he's hitting lefties great. So it's hard for opposing teams to bring a lefty in to face him. They're still going to do it. It's the right move, but he's hitting great against left-handed pitching. So I think he's made himself a lot of money, whether it's in Philly or somewhere else next year. And I sure hope it's in Philly for another reason, because he declined the home run derby, but he said, let's see what happens next year, because the All-Star game is in Philadelphia next year as part of the 250th, celebration of the country. I would love for him to be in a Philly uniform in the home run derby next year.
327-0888, that is the phone number. The text line, 804 is the area code. Let's take our final timeout. We'll be back after this, 106.1 ESPN.
Tune into the ESPN Richmond Herman Allen Sports Play of the Day, presented exclusively by Herman Allen Plumbing and Cooling, your premier Lennox dealer.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time and skip the regular line at the airport and pay for speedy security. Imagine not having to quickly unpack and pack at the place you already came back to. And wearing your shoes the whole time you're there? You can't put a price on that kind of luxury. Well, actually you can, and you paid for it. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For speedy security. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Here's Comedians and Skechers Getting Comfortable, presented by Hands-Free Skechers Slip-In.
Hey, I'm Bobby Slayton, and I'm here with my pal, comedian, and Skechers ambassador, Mr. Howie Mandel.
Why did it take so long to invent something as amazing as slip-ins? I know it seems simple, but it took Skechers to invent a better pair of shoes.
Yep, with Skechers slip-ins, you just step it and go. You don't have to touch your shoes. And by the way, slip-ins are for the whole family, men, women, and kids. In all your favorite Skechers styles, find Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
How would you like a free dinner? That's right, a free dinner. Hi, I'm Jeff Trice with the Insurance Doctor, and I've been telling you for years how nobody beats the Insurance Doctor's prices. And now I'll prove it. Just bring your current auto insurance policy into the Insurance Doctor location nearest you, and if we can't beat your price, I'll buy you dinner at the restaurant of your choice. So now is the perfect time to shop your auto insurance, because I'll either save you a ton of money on your car insurance or dinner's on me. Either way, you get paid. Our competitors like to say they can save you money on your car insurance, but only the Insurance Doctor has a low price guarantee. So no matter who you're with, we will beat their price. It's guaranteed. Oh, and by the way, I'll throw in your own personal agent for free. Just bring your current auto insurance policy into the Insurance Doctor location nearest you. I'll either save you a ton of money on your car insurance or dinner's on me. So call us today and see why I say nobody beats the Insurance Doctor.
Allianz Amphitheater at Riverfront and ESPN Richmond 106.1 welcomes Kids Bop Live Thursday, July 10th. Tickets are on sale now. Get your tickets at livenation.com. Kids Bop Live Thursday, July 10th at the Allianz Amphitheater at Riverfront. Click on ESPNRichmond.com for more Live Nation concert information.
106.1 ESPN in your pockets. Download the app for on-demand shows, live updates, podcasts, and sports takes hotter than a game-winning drive. Your team, your way. Get it now.
All right, final segment here. A couple minutes left of the Mashup Hour. So, Bob, on The Athletic right now, they have an article up there called The 100 Best Rivalries in College Football.
Well, we all know. We all know what the best rivalry in college football is. Come on.
See, I disagree.
Richmond, William, and Mary. Come on.
Well, that is actually 95th there,
yes,
Bob.
it is. I knew that. We've already tweeted that out. That Richmond football has already tweeted that one.
Okay. I get it.
But go ahead. I know which one I would pick. I don't know which one you would pick.
Well, what's your answer then?
Army, Navy.
I literally just tweeted that. That is my number one as well.
Oh, that stinks. I hate it when we agree. That's no fun.
It's number 4 on this list, but
oh, I don't like that.
Yeah. Oklahoma, Texas, Auburn, Alabama, Michigan, Ohio State, all ahead of them.
I would have Auburn, Alabama in the top 5. Ohio State, Michigan. I've always liked the Nebraska-Oklahoma rivalry. Now, that's probably fallen over the course of time.
Number 6.
6, okay. So that would have been my 2, 3, and 4 after Army, Navy at number 1.
So the 3 other state school ones, UVA UNC's 42nd, UVA Tech is 78th, and UVA Maryland is 89th.
That's interesting. I really think we cross state lines to have a better rivalry than the in-state rivalry?
Correct, apparently.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm going there. I think I got to put Tech UVA. I get the Virginia, North Carolina thing. I do, but I think I got to put Tech UVA ahead of it. I don't know. Not being a passionate fan of either one or any one of the 3 of them, to include North Carolina, I would love to hear from some of our Tech UVA or Carolina fans what they think about that. Which of those, if you're a UVA person particularly, which game means more to you, Tech or Carolina?
Yeah, Tech UVA is a dead rivalry right now. It just is. It hasn't had a game that's mattered in years.
I know. Well, that means the UVA Carolina game hasn't meant that much either because UVA hasn't been very good.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, I think 78th is too high. I think
really,
yeah.
I think part of my definition of rivalry is they withstand the test of the teams being bad. Like, even if the records are 2-9, the game still means something. And I just think Tech UVA, that would be the case more than Tech Carolina. I mean, UVA Carolina.
Well,
in my opinion.
Well, we'll see. I mean, we can carry this discussion over onto the first segment of your show.
Let's do it. Perfect lead in.
All right. Then the Sports Huddle is next. That'll do it for the Mashup Hour today. But yes, another reason to go to the Athletics so you can have debates about the top 100 rivalries in college football. We'll break that list down a little bit more in the first segment of the Sports Huddle. 327-0888, that is the phone number, and the text line 804 is the area code. Stick around, 106.1 ESPN.
If you've been diagnosed with prostate cancer, Prostate Cancer Educational Institute of Virginia wants to help. These guys hope you'll join them in their monthly meetings where men openly discuss their concerns with others who have already been through it. The next meeting will be an in-person meeting on July 9th at 6:30 p.m. To be added to the guest list, contact Burt Jones at burtjones70@yahoo.com. That's burtjones70@yahoo.com. For more information, call 922-7193 or prostate.club.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time on a fancy water bottle with ultra titanium alloy metal. You're not sure why you need all that. I mean, it just holds water, but you're getting it anyway. Because if you're hiking near an active volcano and you accidentally drop the bottle into molten lava, your water will still be icy cold. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For water bottles. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Richmonders love Pella, Virginia. See why they're consistently voted best window company from Richmond to Charlottesville to Virginia Beach and beyond. Pella offers more window choices than anyone else in town. With product lines in wood, vinyl, and fiberglass, there's an option for your home and budget. Plus, when you choose Pella, they do it all from order to installation. Right now, get 50% off qualifying installations or 0% interest for 60 months. Find out more at PellaVirginia.com. Some restrictions apply.
Call Herman Allen Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling at 804-746-5853 today to learn more about their award-winning Lennox product offerings.
It's bow time. Sure, you've had a sausage biscuit before, but have you had the smoked sausage biscuit from Bojangles? Well, now is your chance. Juicy, slow-cooked smoked sausage is grilled to perfection and served on a fluffy, made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. No one does breakfast like Bojangles, and this smoked sausage biscuit doesn't disappoint. Right now, you can get 2 for just $5. Start your day with this flavor-packed deal while it lasts. It's bow time.
Vacation starts with VA. One thing you'll love about your trip to Virginia is that you'll never have to settle for one thing. All that you love is all in one trip. Start yours at virginia.org.
Hello, and welcome to today's lottery drive. Good luck. And here's today's winning numbers. First one up, it's not yours. Second one, not yours. And another number that's not yours. Okay, this is one number that's yours. It's a 5, but you don't get any money for that. And the final number is not yours.
Yep, so chances are you're not going to hit the lottery anytime soon. Don't get us wrong, the lottery can be fun every now and then. Just please don't rely on it for your future savings. How about this? Brew your own coffee at home instead of buying that latte every day. Brown bag it to work instead of ordering in. Ride your bike instead of buying all that gas. These changes alone can save you thousands a year. Thousands. Small changes today, big bucks tomorrow. Feed that piggy bank. Go to feedthepig.org for more free ideas on how to save. Feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
Okay, men, time to be an all-star caregiver.
Drive them to physical therapy, doctor's appointments. Be there emotionally and physically. Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find care guides at aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Statewide Sports Talk starts here. Border to Border with Matt Josephs on W291CL Lakeside Richmond and WURV HD2 Richmond. Bold takes, no filter. Lock in on 106.1 ESPN.
Doug Brown, another move in the NBA, this time a three-team trade. ESPN's Shams Charania reports the Clippers get John Collins, the Heat get Norman Powell, and the Jazz get Kevin Love, Kyle Anderson, and a second-round pick. With NFL training camps opening soon, ESPN's Mike Tannenbaum believes there will be some weighty expectations on a certain Chicago quarterback this season.
I think the quarterback under the most pressure by far, in my opinion, is Caleb Williams. I can't remember the last time an organization did more for a quarterback than go get Ben Johnson, Colson Loveland, Luther Burton, Ozzie Trapillo, Drew Dahlman. I mean, the list is on and on and on.
Mike Tannenbaum on ESPN Radio's Unsportsmanlike. ESPN's Pete Thamel reports Oklahoma Athletic Director Joe Castiglione will retire during the upcoming academic year. He plans to stay on as athletic director emeritus. At Wimbledon, men's number 1 seed Yannick Sinner advances while trailing 2-0 when Grigor Dimitrov had to stop playing with a pectoral injury.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Tuesday, we asked friend of the show, Adam Schefter, what is the Giants' plan when it comes to rookie quarterback Jackson Dart when he joins the show at 8 a.m. Eastern. It's Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Live from the capital of the Commonwealth, this is the Sports Huddle with Bob Black on 106.1 ESPN. We're also streaming live at ESPNRichmond.com and on the iHeartRadio app. Call in and talk with Bob anytime at 327-0888. Now, here's Bob Black with the Sports Huddle on 106.1 ESPN.
Those of you that listen consistently to the Sports Huddle, particularly at the start of the 5 o'clock hour, first of all, I appreciate all of you that do that. Urge your friends to do likewise. But I usually start with the opening salutation, something along the lines of welcome to or welcome back to the Sports Huddle. Well, today it's just going to be welcome back, because I'm back after vacation. Been out for a little bit here, about the last 10 days or so, with some R&R, continuing to rehab from the back surgery. It's going very well. You can hear me knocking on the wood right there in hopes that it continues to do so. So welcome back to the Sports Huddle. Bob Black back with you on a Monday afternoon. One thing hasn't changed. It's still hot, 90 degrees, sun-splashed, sun-baked, as Bruce would term it as well. So welcome to the show. And for those of you that continue to tune in day out, we appreciate that as well. And Matt, who's been doing double duty, and Jordan, who's producing along the way this afternoon as well. 804-327-0888 gets you on the air. Also, our text line, and we'd love to hear from you. I can't believe I'm doing this. First of all, Matt Josephs is sticking around for another segment here because we started a topic in the last 5 minutes or so and really didn't have a chance to dive into it. And I'm not a huge lists guy. So the fact that on day one back and in the opening moments, I'm leading with a list tells you something, but I am kind of intrigued and enamored by it. And it's one of those fun lists. It's not one of those, give me the top 10 left tackles in the National Football, that kind of list. It's not anything along those lines. It's actually a fun one, and one that I kind of would enjoy bantering back and forth with. And that is the Athletics list of top 100 college football rivalries. And what did you say, Matt? How many from the state did you say it included?
3? 4 of them.
4. Okay. Including, and I wonder how many of these there are. I feel good about this. There's one FCS in there at least, because Richmond, William and Mary is in there. I don't have the full list in front of me. I'm guessing you do.
So in the 90s, they have Williams and Amherst.
Okay, that's good. Good for them.
And Mount Union, UW, Whitewater.
Okay, that's good too. I like those. Non-division ones.
They also,
I'm surprised Randolph, Macon, and Hampton Sydney didn't crack the list.
Yeah, that's
a division. Jordan. Williams is Division 3.
3, yeah. At like Randolph, Macon, Hampton, Sydney. That's a good one. I'm outraged if I'm living up there in Ashland. That should be up there.
Anyway. They also copped out and they did the MAC conference because everybody in the MAC conference is a rivalry with each other.
And where did they put that?
That was also in the 90s. That one
boo
is
on
at
that one.
one spot. How ironic. It's one spot ahead of Richmond and William & Mary.
Oh, I hate it even more now. Oh, come on. No way. That one's out.
I mean, I'm just saying.
You probably would have it high. What is the rivalry in the MAC?
Oh,
Matt?
it's Toledo and Northern Illinois.
Oh, yeah, those teams don't like each. Why is it Toledo and Northern Illinois? What is the rivalry there?
Well, for the longest time, those were the two best teams in the MAC, and so when they played, it usually meant a whole lot more. But every rivalry in the MAC is played for something. So, like Eastern Michigan and Western Michigan are playing for like a statue and a wheelbarrow and like this. So every rivalry in the MAC is played for something.
Well, that would be part of my definition. Actually, is that it has to have a name to it, or they have to get something for it. Like, I don't even know. Is the Michigan-Ohio State rivalry have a name or a trophy or not?
They don't need a name for that.
It's just called the game.
No, that's Hampton-Sydney Randolph.
They both call it the game.
Oh, boo on Michigan-Ohio State. I'm sticking up for the little guy in our state here. But I know, Matt, you just take a flag and plant it in the logo of the other school.
There's probably some names for that series, but we can't say it on the air.
Correct. Yeah. But again, so I do think that could be part of it, like the Commonwealth Cup or the Capital Cup that we have with Virginia Tech, and Richmond, William & Mary. But Army Navy, which I think is number one, is the Commander's Trophy, right? But here's the other part of the definition, Matt, to go back to your MAC argument. The teams don't have to be good for it to be a rivalry. I'll bet there's a plethora of years in which Army and Navy both stunk. And that game was still the best rivalry in college football.
See, but I slightly disagree. That's why I would put Tech and UVA even lower. Like, if you ask 10 Tech and UVA fans, I guarantee you there was almost no hatred involved or trash talk in the last couple years. Like, they were both so bad that it didn't even matter.
Maybe, but I think there's just as many people that will say, okay, we still made our season because when I go to work with you next week, I'm going to trash dog you. At least we won that game. As bad as we are, you were worse. That's part of it to me. I don't agree with you on that one. Again, I point to Army Navy more than any of these. I'm looking at the top 10 list, and for the most part, I don't know in the top 10 list that there were too many bad years for both teams, but I do think for Army Navy there have been some like that, and it still captivates an audience.
So I'll ask you, because you were here for this. So if you click on each of the things, there's some little notes that come up. The biggest game, it says, in the Tech UVA rivalry was 1995, in which Antonio Banks returned a 65-yard interception return by Tech, gives them the clinching score in a 36-29 win. And apparently he was nearly tripped by a UVA trainer on the sideline.
Yeah, I do remember that. Ethan Saliba, if I'm not mistaken, is the trainer. Believe it or not, I remember that. Long time, I think Hall of Fame trainer. I don't think UVA has a Hall of Fame, but I think he would be. And I do think I remember that. What year was that? 95?
1995.
Yeah, I do kind of remember that.
So that they say that was the biggest game in that rivalry of all time.
Huh. That could be. That's probably right up there with that. That was in the George Welsh era at UVA. So they were really good back then. Tech won that game. Is that right?
Correct.
Yeah, and they were in the ACC at that point?
Yeah,
I didn't think so.
They met as co-champions of the ACC and Big East, respectively, with a major bowl at stake for the winner.
Yeah, they weren't. Yeah, yep. Because Tech won. What'd you say was co-champ of the ACC that year?
Correct.
Yeah. Yep. I kind of do remember that. The trainer part, the athletic trainer part, I definitely remember that for sure. So that could be that's up there as one of the best. But again, I just think there's more than just the records of that year's team that makes it that kind of a rivalry. That's why I don't know as much about the MAC as you do. But when you said Toledo versus Northern Illinois, that shocked me.
Well, Toledo, Bowling Green's also huge.
Yeah, now you're talking.
They're 30 miles apart. But there's years where Bowling Green's not as good. And I guess that matters more. I'm just saying, like, you listen to this. We don't get calls for UVA and Tech ever. We did many years ago, but like nobody cares about Tech and UVA because they're usually fighting for 6 and 6.
They are. I agree with you on that, but and maybe it's just not prompting them to pick up the phone and call, but I think they still care about that game. Maybe not as much, but certainly not as much. Let's be honest, they don't. But I still think you would rather wake up on Sunday morning being able to say you beat the other one than not. So I do think that's still I would still put that ahead of UVA North Carolina. To me, now I would rather hear from, Chris or some of our other UVA fans. I think Tech UVA trumps UVA North Carolina, but apparently not.
Well, on this list, it's one spot ahead of Kentucky and Louisville, which I feel like is probably larger than Virginia Tech.
Oh, in football?
Yeah. In football.
In basketball, I give you that. I don't know if I'm giving you that in football.
No, I mean, with Kentucky being better as of late.
Yeah, but I think you got to go over the whole history of the thing.
I mean, I guess so, but I just feel like that Virginia Tech has been dead the last couple years, and go back like 7 or 8 years. I think it's been dead for the most part.
And I think that I'm trying to make my point out of that even though it has been closer to death than life, it still hangs on as a rivalry game. It's still a big deal the week of the game. Not as big as if they were good, but I still think it captivates the audience. I do. Now, maybe I would love to see the attendances. I'm guessing they're not sold out the last several years for that game, but I still think it captivates the audience, and I would put it up there.
Yeah, but you know why they're sold out is because the other fan base is populating the stadium.
That's fine. Both of them popular. Neither one of them's been very good. That actually you're kind of making my point there. That helps me. A rivalry game, if the schools are close, you're going to have fans from both teams in both stadiums.
I mean, I guess, but like I just feel like Richmond William & Mary's a bigger rivalry than Tech and UVA.
I'd like to say so, but I guess you're right. That depends on the year. And I know one of the things that they're most proud of in the Richmond William & Mary rivalry is that more often than not, one or both schools on that last week of the season is in a position to do something to enhance their championship status or postseason status. That has certainly been the case. But I can remember the years when Richmond was really, really bad, and Jimmy Laycock's teams were rolling over them year in and year out, and it was still a big deal to Richmond. That if they were 2-8, being 3-8, and one of them being William & Mary, got you through the offseason a little better.
Where would you put Tech, JMU and Richmond?
In football?
Where would you put it in football and let's just say state rivalries. Let's not include the other ones.
That's interesting because we always said that from a Richmond perspective, we had two different rivalries. The William & Mary rivalry was kind of like the old guard alumni rivalry, and the Richmond JMU rivalry was more of the new breed, current student body, young grad kind of rivalry with a little bit more venom and hatred than the Richmond William & Mary rivalry. I think they were two really high up there rivalries, but totally different in the emotional makeup of the two of them, if that makes any sense.
And see that the hatred factor is more for me in terms of I'm ranking rivalries. It's more based off of the hatred factor and what's at stake than anything else.
Yeah. And part of it in the Richmond JMU one, not to be the historian that I've become, when it first started, JMU being a much younger school and football program was the fledgling, university in the Commonwealth of Virginia that always wanted to beat Richmond. And then they finally beat Richmond, and then they got better than Richmond, and then Richmond wanted to take that back and, always wanted to beat James Madison. So it was good because it went back and forth in that regard. I mean, two of the greatest games of the Richmond JMU rivalry were the one that came up relatively recently was the Scotty McGee punt return for a touchdown that beat Richmond on the last play in 2008. And Richmond fans swallow hard, but it's okay because they went on to win the national championship that year. And then the other one was the college game day game that was in Harrisonburg when the Spiders spoiled that party for JMU. So those are the type of games that you hang on to in a rivalry, no matter what the records of the teams are.
Right. And we've had those more recently than the last memorable UVA Tech play.
Probably. Well, yeah, there's probably been some since 1995.
I mean, not many.
Maybe not many.
You look at, I did it before and I could do it again. Like I looked at the records for when Tech and UVA played the last 10 years, and it's been a lot of 5 and 7s, 6 and 6s. And it's just like, nobody really cares and nobody calls up. Nobody starts, with the, I wouldn't want to be a UVA grad. I wouldn't want to even be.
Yeah.
It's just, that's what I grade a rivalry on, because rivalries to me are just truly based on hatred.
Yeah, I wish they would. I mean, I wish no matter what the record, that to me is part of rivalry. No matter what the records, we're up for this game. And I'll tell you, Matt, in my case, we always say Richmond William & Mary on the last weekend of the season meant that even if you were having a bad year, you had a game to look forward to. As a player, as a coach, as a fan, as a broadcaster, you had that game to look forward to. And schools that just played a nondescript last game of the season in a nondescript year were missing out on something. So that's also part of my definition. And that's why, I'm really thrilled that William & Mary and Richmond are back in the same conference, because now they can play that game the last weekend of the season. Well, I'm thinking about it. Where'd they put Lehigh Lafayette? Is that on the list? That should be up there somewhere.
I don't think they were on the list.
Oh, it's like the oldest rivalry in all of college football. Or Princeton and Harvard, or Yale and Harvard. Are they on there? They got to be on there.
I'm looking. Montana State's on there at 60.
See, now that one's a more recent one also, since they've both gotten really good.
Lehigh and Lafayette's 41.
Thank you. I knew they would be. So think about the Patriot League. They've got 2 top 100 rivalries that are played on the last weekend of the season, which I think is kind of cool.
2 spots behind North Dakota State and South Dakota State.
I get that.
Which I'm guessing they always hate each other, whether they're bad or not. So
right.
I
get that one.
Harvard Yale's at 20.
There you go. Yeah, I get that one too. And again, those transcend their records, because I'm going to guess those schools are not good every year.
That's why I put Army Navy 1, because Army Navy 1 is just like, look, I get it. For hatred factor, Michigan, Ohio State's number 1. But like Army Navy just means so much more than just football. It's just everything that's surrounding that game.
And I guess maybe not anymore, although I think it's a standalone game, right? Up until recently, it's been the only game that weekend, right? I think it's still like that. So that helps. That helps that rivalry also, is that's the only game in town on that particular Saturday. And they play that one at a neutral site. That's the other thing. How many of these rivalries are still at neutral sites? Not as many anymore, right?
I'm guessing Florida, Georgia, somewhere on here, but because obviously
even that one's changing. I thought I read even that one was going.
I think Jacksonville's contract ended or something, and they were looking for something else.
They're renovating the stadium in Jacksonville.
There you go.
Oh, so are they playing at home and home?
I think the game is being played in Atlanta.
Oh, well, that's okay. So that stays a neutral site game. But a lot of these, are now home and home. That I think some of them, Michigan, Ohio State never was. Was Auburn, Alabama ever wasn't it in a neutral site for a long time? I feel like it was. And now I think it's home fields. But anyway, I could look that
now,
up.
This year's Florida, Georgia is in Jacksonville. Maybe next year's is being played in Atlanta. I'm looking at Florida's schedule.
Yeah. The Minnesota-Wisconsin one is interesting. That made the top 10.
Brown
I get
jug?
It. Yeah, no, I get it. That's what I mean. Have a name, have a trophy, that sort of thing. I get that.
Like Michigan State is probably getting close to being like Virginia Tech, because Michigan State's been so bad that people probably don't even care anymore as much. But like that one used to have the hatred and the vitriol behind it.
Yeah, that they'll be back. That will still. So is it Michigan State? I mean, Michigan, Ohio State trumps that, right? Yeah. But the in-state rivalries, particularly where they're geographically relatively close, I get those. I really do. Whether they're good or bad. I know what you're saying about Virginia Tech. We just need better fans, Matt. I'm going to tick off all the fan bases.
No, we need better teams.
We need better fan bases, Hokies and Who's. You need to have the vitriol, whether your team's 2-9 or 9-2. Come on. But they do have that game to look forward to at the end of the season. That's all part of what I would consider making these great rivalries. It's at the end of the year, and we're always going to look forward to that no matter what.
Yeah. All right, that's fine.
Yeah,
the 6-6 bowl coming up at the end of the season.
Well, let's hope that's not the case this year. I hope they overachieve this season and are better than that. Great list, though. See, those lists are fun. I like those. That was good. And the Athletic, we both like the Athletic. So that was, I don't know how they put it together and what their definition was, but it's a hard thing to do.
No, you're never going to get something like that 100% correct.
No, there is no correct. That's an opinion based thing. But good one, Matt. Good one. All right, we'll let you get out of there. Thanks for the overtime today. Appreciate that. And we'll be back at it tomorrow, right? Border to border at 3, and then you and I will mash it up at 4 o'clock tomorrow. I'll actually be in the studio with you tomorrow.
Sounds good.
How's that? So save me a seat.
Will do.
All right. Thanks, Matt. All right. 5:19 on the Sports Huddle Monday afternoon. Here's where we're headed to take you up to 6 o'clock.
These are this afternoon's top sports stories.
I'm sure he'll be fascinated by all the stories you have to tell.
This is today's Drive Home Headlines.
All right, back at it on a Monday. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, Jordan is poised and ready. We have our motorsports recap. It was a really interesting and big weekend in the motorsports world between the road course race in Chicago, and then the Formula One race, the British Grand Prix, was also pretty exciting. We'll let you hear the end of both of those races, and Jordan will break it down for us both on the NASCAR circuit and the Formula One circuit as well. I'm going to just, Jordan, real quick, have you seen the movie yet?
I have not seen the movie yet.
Oh, okay. I've told my friends while I was on vacation and family that I absolutely want to go see that movie, and I haven't gotten to it yet. And I want to go see it like in one of those IMAX studios
Me
where
too.
you get, right? Is that, and I think like the Boulevard, the movie land down there in the Boulevard is one of them.
I think so.
Yeah, so that might be the place to go. But I definitely want to go. That's going to be like my homework assignment between now. I'm not going to say next Monday necessarily, but maybe by the end of the summer. I mean, I guess it will have ended its run by then. But by then, I want to have seen that movie, and I hope you do too, right?
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So anyway, Jordan has our motorsports segment brought to you by the Insurance Doctor, coming up at 5:30, and our Herman Allen Sports Play of the Week at 5:45. I'm not going to say it's not a good one, but I must admit I took some, fan base loyalties on this one and didn't really have something that popped out at me. I looked all other than NASCAR and the F1 races. I could have just done that. I looked at Wimbledon a little bit, but I didn't really find anything great. So a little bit of a reach, but not necessarily. Of course, it involves my favorite team, my favorite sport. So, every once in a while I get to pick what I want. So you'll get that at 5:45 on the Herman Allen Sports Player of the Week. Let's get a break in here. We'll come back on an open segment, 804-327-0888. Might talk a little baseball or whatever might be on your mind. Steer us in a different direction. Also, our text line, 327-0888. Great to be back at it on a Monday afternoon. And I'm here all week, as they like to say in those lounges and bars. You don't have to tip even. And we're here all week, including Friday, when we have our season premiere from Colonial Downs, which racing season opens on Wednesday. Matt and I are out there each and every Friday during the racing season, and we will be there to get it going this Friday afternoon. Back after the break, 106.1 ESPN.
Tune into the ESPN Richmond Herman Allen Sports Play of the Day, presented exclusively by Herman Allen Plumbing and Cooling, your premier Lennox dealer.
When you first saw her, she was out walking her dog. You didn't notice her at first, but when you finally did, it was too late. Because at that moment, you were speeding. She was out walking her dog and only had a second to let go of the leash. Your foot was on the gas, and her life was on the line. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
What's the best place to shop this summer? Macy's. It's our first ever Star Deals Week. 6 full days of store-wide savings on everything you want. From shorts and swim to fine jewelry, all up to 50% off. Plus, home updates from Hotel Collection, Green Pan, and more, up to 60% off. Not only that, shop Macy's.com for new flash deals every day that everyone will love. No membership required. So don't miss Star Deals Week starting tomorrow at Macy's. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Looking for the perfect golf course? Check out RVA's best kept secret, Queenfield Golf Club, just a few minutes past Mechanicsville. Reserve your tee time today at queenfieldgolf.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code MOVE to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code MOVE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code MOVE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Allianz Amphitheater at Riverfront and ESPN Richmond 106.1 welcomes Kids Bop Live Thursday, July 10th. Tickets are on sale now. Get your tickets at livenation.com. Kids Bop Live Thursday, July 10th at the Allianz Amphitheater at Riverfront. Click on ESPNRichmond.com for more Live Nation concert information.
Game on, Richmond. Crank up 106.1 ESPN for live play-by-play, blistering hot takes, and nonstop action. Your ticket to the hype. Stay dialed in.
Stay dialed in or simply dial in 804-327-0888. Sports Huddle, Monday afternoon, 25 after 5. Let me go to the aforementioned phone line. Good evening, Bruce. How are you, my friend? Oh, Bruce dropped. Oh, no, Bruce is back. Hello, Bruce. Good evening.
Good evening, Bob. Good evening. I'm glad to hear you're back. Hey, Bob, as the young folks say, it's been a minute.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, it's just the young folks, it's been a minute, man.
They do. Yes, they do. I don't get
Bob.
that one, Bruce, but what the heck? Keep going. Go ahead. What you got there, Bruce?
He dropped off.
He dropped again. Try one
He'll
more
come
time,
back.
Bruce. We'll get him back. Let's get him back. I love starting the week with something, some nugget that Bruce will have for us, whether it's NBA related, of the draft, of the summer league, of all the free agent signings, of the 7-team trade, any of that. Bruce will ring us up at some point here, and we'll get him back. 804-327-0888. That is also the text line, 327-0888. The baseball schedule is a little bit light for tonight. No Braves, no Orioles, no Nationals. The Nats, as you've heard, did fire their general manager, Mike Rizzo, and their manager, Davey Martinez. Miguel Cairo, who was the bench coach, that's the normal procedure for these teams that make changes in midseason, will take over for the rest of the year, and then they will come up with a suitable replacement in the offseason. So not that they were going anywhere this year, but have certainly waved the white flag for this season. And they do keep a bench coach in charge of the team that knows these youngsters, knows the young guys, has to keep them on their trajectory to be better next year. So I get that part of it, and then we'll see who comes in the offseason. All right, if Bruce isn't there, Reggie always is. He's picking up the pieces for Bruce on this Monday afternoon. Hello, Reggie.
Hey, Titletown, how's the back there, big guy? You on the hour, or you coming out the bullpen smoking?
Yeah, I am. The back is back. I don't want to jinx it, but it's doing pretty well. We still got a little stiffness that we're working through, but to be expected.
Okay.
But we're back at it, Reg. Thanks for asking.
All right, that's what I want to hear. You doing your stretching exercise, touching
You
your
bet.
toes.
Oh yeah,
Stuff.
do my PT. Still do. Reggie, get this. I got a PT session this week at 7 a.m. Can you imagine? 7 a.m. I got to be doing these exercises. What is up with this?
Hey, is it inside or outside?
It'd be inside. It'd be inside.
What are you complaining about? It's inside.
Did you not hear me, Reggie? 7 a.m. Come on now.
Would you rather have 7 a.m. outside or 7 a.m. inside?
I'd be okay with 7 a.m. outside, actually, this time of year.
No.
I'd be okay with that, actually. As long as I have a cup of coffee, I'll be fine. What do you think I am? These college.
You talking about a cup of coffee?
I have my coffee every day. It doesn't matter whether it's 10 degrees or 100 degrees. I'm having my coffee, man.
Remember this drill sergeant that I had when I was in the Marines in the 70s. It was 100 degrees out there in Paris, out in South Carolina. He's drinking coffee, and we stand there sweating bullets.
Yeah, you got it.
Unbelievable.
Do you have soup in the summertime, Reggie? Do you have soup? Do you have soup in the summertime at all or not? No soup.
No,
either,
sir.
Right? No soup, no hot coffee. All right, fair enough.
No, can't have it. But Tyler,
right.
I need your help with something.
Yes, sir.
What the ham sandwich going on up in D.C., man? First of all, we know the baseball team is in shambles, but now the city council wants to play footsie with the stadium.
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
That's really disappointing. I mean, if they don't get that thing done, it's going to be several years before it gets back on the table, I think. I get it to a degree that they want to do their due diligence and blah, 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 but it can't go on very long. They've got to sign some papers and get that stadium thing going. I'm with you. I don't know. That would be a huge disappointment if that thing doesn't happen.
What, are there people from Richmond City Council on board up there? I mean,
same people that are taking care of the
Richmond City Council would do.
Same people that take care of the Richmond Coliseum are taking care of the new RFK Stadium. Oh man!
Or that same clown. Every time a proposal comes up, he wants to do a lawsuit, and I refuse to mention his name.
Yeah, I know.
He's not working about time.
I'm with you. I know. You're right.
Yeah,
so I don't know what's going on. I really don't. I thought the timing of the general manager firing was peculiar to me. Figured they were going to have a managerial change at some point anyway. That was still very peculiar. And, man, that would be a huge disappointment if that stadium thing doesn't happen for the Commanders.
Yeah, well, my thing is the liners, it must be like Ted DeYoung. You had a World Series championship, and they did nothing with it.
Yep.
Ted DeYoung has a Stanley Cup, and what have they done since they won the Stanley Cup?
Yeah.
Just falling like the Hindenburg. Unbelievable.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you. All right, Reg, I'm going to move on.
Title town, take care of that back.
Yes, remember, I'll be working out at 7 a.m. with my coffee. Thanks, Reggie.
Yes,
all right. Yeah. All right. All right, let's get a break in here. Bottom of the hour. We got our motorsports update brought to you by the insurance doctor. Jordan ready to join us next. Take you to Chicago and the NASCAR race, and then the British Grand Prix on the Formula One circuit, all coming up in our motorsports update next on the Sports Huddle.
Richmonders love Pella, Virginia. See why they're consistently voted best window company from Richmond to Charlottesville to Virginia Beach and beyond. Pella offers more window choices than anyone else in town. With product lines in wood, vinyl, and fiberglass, there's an option for your home and budget. Plus, when you choose Pella, they do it all from order to installation. Right now, get 50% off qualifying installations or 0% interest for 60 months. Find out more at PellaVirginia.com. Some restrictions apply.
4th of July savings are here at the Home Depot, so it's time to get your grilling on. Pick up the Traeger Pro Series 22 pellet grill and smoker, now on special buy for $389, was $549. Smoke a rack of ribs or bake an apple pie. This grill is versatile enough to do it all. This summer, no matter how you like your steaks, your barbecues are guaranteed to be well done. Celebrate 4th of July with fast free delivery on select grills right now at the Home Depot. Subject to availability.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sports book for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Golf season is here. Whether it's your first round of the year or the next round, make sure you're playing it at Hunting Hawk Golf Club. We're offering special pricing this summer on outings for civic organizations, churches, kids' athletic teams, or your own special fundraiser. Also, now is the time to start signing up for your fall golf outings. For more information or to book a tee time, give us a call at 804-749-1900 or visit online at huntinghawkgolf.com.
Horse racing is back, and it's time to get ready for another Triple Crown season. Get the latest from the industry every Saturday morning from 10 to 11 with Off to the Races on 106.1 ESPN. Presented by The Racing Biz. Nick Hahn and Frank Vespi bring you their insight and knowledge, talking with the people making the headlines, including jockeys, trainers, and owners. Plus, get the expert picks each week, including a visit by Derby Bill Watson. It's Off to the Races each Saturday morning at 10 on 106.1 ESPN. Streaming live on the iHeartRadio app.
It's bow time. Something new just dropped at Bojangles.
Take the bold taste of a crispy golden chicken supreme that's been seasoned to perfection, then add dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, and a toasted bun that's great on the go. What do you get? You get a Bo's Bird Dog. In fact, you can grab 2 of them for $5. So when you're on the go, headed to practice, or need a snack, grab a Bo's Bird Dog. Hurry in before they're gone. Available for a limited time. It's Bo time.
Allianz Amphitheater at Riverfront and ESPN Richmond 106.1 welcomes Kids Bop Live Thursday, July 10th. Tickets are on sale now. Get your tickets at livenation.com. Kids Bop Live Thursday, July 10th at the Allianz Amphitheater at Riverfront. Click on ESPNRichmond.com for more Live Nation concert information.
Your trash is treasure at CNC Cullet Recycling. From copper wire to radiator ends, cans to lead batteries, CNC Cullet Recycling will pay cash or check for your unwanted scrap metal. No load is too large or too small. Don't dump it, recycle it, and get paid at CNC Cullet Recycling, just south of Maple Street on Route 1 in Ashland. Free local container services available too. CNC Cullet Recycling, open every weekday and a half day on Saturday. Check the latest cash scrap prices online right now at cccullet.com. That's CCCULLET.
Score big with the 106.1 ESPN app. Listen live anywhere. Crystal clear coverage, breaking news, and Richmond's rowdiest sports debates. Tap in and turn it up.
Maybe just go ahead and give him a key to the city because Shane Van Gisbergen does own the streets of Chicago. He delivers once again.
Hell yeah, buddy. Weekend sweep.
36 years old from Auckland, New Zealand. Second victory of the year. And some more playoff points as he starts thinking about what will happen later this year in the postseason. In 2025, it's Norris's name on the trophy. Lando Norris wins the British Grand Prix. Oscar Piastri will say the penalty was so unfair, but it's a McLaren one too, as Norris takes 7 points out of his advantage. And how about this? No one has ever waited as long to stand on a Formula One podium. Get rid of that stat and celebrate Nico Hulkenberg, 239 starts and a podium finisher in Formula One at long last.
106.1 ESPN Richmond's auto racing coverage brought to you by the Insurance Doctor. Visit myinsuranceDoctor.com to get a quote from one of their 8 locations in the Richmond Chesterfield area for peace of mind on and off the track. Our new technology, even when we're not in the same studio together, we can see each other because we got the webcams going now. And Jordan, I was just peeking at you, and as that play-by-play ended of the British Grand Prix, I could see that smile on your face. Never has a broadcaster been more excited about a guy who finished third in a race than what we just heard right there.
Oh man, it was it, and the whole thing with the race yesterday is that rain continues to be the great equalizer in Formula One. It was raining early in the morning. There were periods of rain in the first half of the race that saw a safety car, so bunched the field up and had to let him go again. And actually, Oscar Piastri in McLaren during that last safety car period for rain, as they were getting ready to restart the race, they were coming down the Hanger Straight at Silverstone, one of the famed long straightaways there. And Piastri, as the safety car is pulling away, Piastri slams on his brakes, and Max Verstappen has to take measures to avoid running into the back of him, and ends up passing him, which normally would be a penalty, but the race stewards investigated, and they found that Piastri had broken rules for driving erratically under the safety car, and so they penalized him 10 seconds. I thought he was going to get like a 5-second penalty, but the stewards slapped him with the book, a 10-second time penalty, stole the win essentially from him. And it was crazy too, because the safety car, the last safety car for Rain came out as Piastri had like a 13-second lead over his teammate Lando Norris. So they held out for as long as they could for Piastri to serve the 10-second penalty. They waited until late in the race, made their final pit stop, put soft tires on his McLaren, and had to wait the 10 seconds before doing so. Norris passed him, and then it was just a battle from there. And the big story is Nico Hülkenberg finishing third for the first time in his Formula One career, 239 previous starts, no podium until yesterday. His kick Sauber team played the tire strategy perfectly with the weather, and Nico just drove the lights out of that car, maintained the tires, driving on intermediates throughout the treacherous conditions, and he even held off Lewis Hamilton, which is quite something. And so just a really good feel-good story to end this stretch of racing for Formula One, the British Grand Prix. Lando Norris becomes, I think, the 13th or the 14th different British driver to win his home race. So that was cool for him. And Nico Hülkenberg has scored more points in the last 4 races than Max Verstappen, which is kind of crazy.
He's my guy, Max Verstappen.
Yeah,
what's going on with him?
I had to look back. Hulkenberg finished 16th in Monaco over the course of Memorial Day, but then he rattled off a fifth place finish in Spain. He was 8th in Canada, and then last week in Austria, he came home in 9th. So he's really putting it together, which is great to see. Formula One is off for the next 3 weeks. They will be racing again in Belgium at Spa on July the 27th. The driver standings, Oscar Piastri continues to lead the world championship ahead of his teammate Lando Norris. It's a 12-point advantage in the standings right now. Max Verstappen is still in third place, but George Russell has closed the gap on the 4-time defending, or the 3-time defending world champion, for third place in the driver standings there. NASCAR on the streets of Chicago, as you heard, Shane Van Gisbergen, might as well make him the mayor, the honorary mayor of Chicago.
Why is this happening, George?
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to his supercars days. He's just a road course ace. And, years ago, NASCAR fans were complaining that there were not enough road courses and not enough short tracks on the schedule. NASCAR listened over the years. They've added Chicago. They added Mexico City. They built the road course at Charlotte Motor Speedway, the Roval, to give it some extra liveliness on the NASCAR schedule, and it just plays into the hands so perfectly for a guy like Shane Van Gisbergen. He won the Mexico City race. This is his second win of the season, and he's putting himself in a really solid position, considering they go to Sonoma, so they have another road course race this weekend. The race at Sonoma, where he stands a good chance of winning there. And then before the regular season is out, the race before the race at Richmond, they will be at Watkins Glen. So there's a good chance that Shane Van Gisbergen could be sitting towards the top of the playoff standings if he manages to sweep all the road course races this season. He's already got 2 wins, which has him in 5th place in the playoff standings right now. So a third win would likely put him near the top alongside Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, and Christopher Bell, who have already won 3 times. And and Shane, I'm waving the pom-poms for him so hard. Just, he's such a good racer, but he's really putting together, this is his first full-time season in the Cup Series. So he's really just starting to put all the oval stuff together. I think he's rattled off a couple of top 20 finishes on the ovals so far this season. So, when the playoffs start, I'm sure that'll probably be a little bit to his disadvantage with his inexperience in the oval world. But I think it's cool for Trackhouse to know that they will have two cars. They have Ross Chastain, who won the Coke 600, and then they have Shane Van Gisbergen as well. So it's shaping out to be pretty interesting in the Cup Series as that goes forward. Again, they are in Sonoma this weekend at Sonoma Raceway. It'll be the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series. The Xfinity race will be Saturday at 4:30 on the CW, and then the Cup Series race will be at 3:30 on Sunday on TNT. And then in the IndyCar Series, the domination of Alex Palou and Kyle Kirkwood has ended. Alex Palou made a costly mistake late in the race at Mid-Ohio yesterday, ran wide, opened the door for his Chip Ganassi Racing teammate Scott Dixon to take the lead. Dixon held off Palou for the victory at Mid-Ohio. So our first non-Alex Palou, Kyle Kirkwood winner in IndyCar this series is Scott Dixon. And it didn't really change much in terms of the standings, though. Palou continues to lead ahead of Kirkwood, and Pato O'Ward sits in third place, 125 points out in the championship. But there are two opportunities for IndyCar this weekend as they head to Iowa. They will race a doubleheader. They'll race Saturday night at 5 o'clock. You can watch it on Fox, and then they'll turn right around on Sunday afternoon and run another race at Iowa Speedway. That race will be at 1 o'clock on Fox. So a lot going on.
Sure is.
And you mentioned the Formula One movie. It came out last week. It was number one at the box office.
Was it really?
It was. It's it looks like it's eclipsed over $100 million in box office earnings. It was the number 2 movie behind Jurassic Park this past weekend.
Wow.
So
I almost went, Jordan. I almost went there. I was at the beach for vacation, and there was one day and evening when it rained, and I'm like, it was playing at the movie theater down there, but it's just a traditional movie theater.
Yeah.
And I'm like you. I want to go in the IMAX and experience the whole deal. So
yeah,
we'll compare notes once we see it. Good stuff. Really good. I love the NASCAR on the Chicago course. And obviously the excitement of the Formula One this week was really good. All right. 106.1 ESPN Richmond's auto racing coverage brought to you by the Insurance Doctor. Thank you as always, Jordan. Great complete recap. Visit myinsuranceDoctor.com to get a quote from one of their 8 locations in the Richmond, Chesterfield area for peace of mind on and off the track. We will wrap it up after a timeout. Herman Allen Sports Play of the Week coming up next. Sports Huddle 106.1 ESPN.
Traffic reports on 106.1 ESPN Richmond, brought to you by Herman Allen Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, a premier Linux dealer. Online at HermanAllenPlumbing.com.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. It's no wonder that ZipRecruiter is the place for skilled skydiving instructors, accomplished airbrush artists, and proficient pediatricians. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter to hire, you're missing out. ZipRecruiter is the place that's so confident it can make your hiring easier that it lets you try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. So if you want the right candidates for all your roles, ZipRecruiter is the place to go. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
When you first saw her, she was out walking her dog. You didn't notice her at first. But when you finally did, it was too late. Because at that moment, you were speeding. She was out walking her dog and only had a second to let go of the leash. Your foot was on the gas, and her life was on the line. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
What's the best place to shop this summer? Macy's. It's our first ever Star Deals Week. 6 full days of store-wide savings on everything you want. From shorts and swim to fine jewelry, all up to 50% off. Plus, home updates from Hotel Collection, Green Pan, and more, up to 60% off. Not only that, shop Macy's.com for new flash deals every day that everyone will love. No membership required. So don't miss Star Deals Week starting tomorrow at Macy's. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
With rising gas prices in the RVA, save money every time you fill up with the Fuel Rewards program at Bonaire Shell. Sign up today at BonairShell.com or stop by 8762 Huguenot Road.
Hey, my name is Wally Rayner, former NFL linebacker. Wahoo Wah. Hey, I'm here in Richmond, and when I'm riding around, I listen to Border to Border at 106.1 ESPN.
Welcome back. Final segment, Sports Huddle Monday afternoon. If you're a regular listener, and we hope you are and appreciate that you are, you know what we do this time on Monday afternoon. Our Herman Allen Sports Play of the Week, presented exclusively by Herman Allen Plumbing and Cooling, your premier Lennox dealer. All right, so this one came within one pitch of perfection. So I made it our at least play of the week, even if it wasn't our perfect game play of the week. This was my guy, Zach Wheeler, for the Phillies. Sorry, Roger, not for your Mets, but for the Phillies in the red pinstripes, although I think they were wearing their cream uniforms yesterday. Came within one pitch of a perfect game for Philadelphia yesterday against Cincinnati. He gave up a home run, one hit, one pitch to Austin Hayes, a former Philly, by the way, just a year ago. And that was it. And other than that, Zach Wheeler was perfect for Philadelphia. No walks, 12 strikeouts, 108 pitches to go the distance in the Phillies' 3-1 win. And here's how it ended our Herman Allen Sports Play of the Week.
And he's got a stadium chanting his name. 1-0 pitch. Swung on, popped up, left field. Kepler is waiting, and he's got it. Zach Wheeler with a day for the ages today at Citizens Bank Park. A pitch away from perfect was Wheeler as he goes the distance in a 3-1 victory. A one-hitter for Wheeler.
There's the dominance that he shows out there the last couple games for most of the season, but especially these last two games, facing a couple of pretty good offenses with some good left-handed hitters, and he just attacked them and dominated them. And there's no better word than domination today.
Zach Wheeler, who's about an hour away, we would guess, from being named an all-star. There's no doubt what he means to this ball club. As Wheeler, with his first complete game since 2021, the fifth career complete game for Zach Wheeler. It's a one-hitter. And it's a 3-1 win today for the Phillies here over the Reds as they win the series.
Can only hope that he will be named the starter for the All-Star game.
Echo that, Larry Anderson. Echo that. Larry Anderson, Scott Fransky, Phillies radio network of Zach Wheeler completing a one-hit complete game shutout. So rare in Major League Baseball anymore. And I articulated all the reasons. I think he should be the starter. Obviously, within the following hour yesterday, the All-Star rosters were announced. We go through them at some point during the course of the week. They're going to change a little bit because some guys aren't going to go. Some pitchers that are going to pitch on Sunday won't be eligible to pitch on Tuesday, so they'll be replaced and whatnot. But I do think Zach Wheeler has the edge in this case. I'm a big Paul Skeens fan. I really am. But I do think in this case, Zach Wheeler is the choice to start for the National League in the All-Star game. In addition to his numbers, he's got the second best ERA, most strikeouts, 9 wins, pitcher of the month in June, and Atlanta is basically his hometown. So why not give the veteran the opportunity to get the ball first in the All-Star game in Atlanta in a couple of weeks and pitch that first inning, and then Paul Skeens and whoever else can come in after that. So again, he came within one pitch of perfection that really would have made it our play of the week. But as it is, pretty unheard of in this day and age of Major League Baseball to throw a complete game, no walks, 12 strikeouts to lead the Phillies to that win. Our Herman Allen Sports Play of the Week, presented exclusively by Herman Allen Plumbing and Cooling, your premier Lennox dealer. Like I said, there'll be some changes to the All-Star lineup. I love baseball, so I'm always enamored. I like the All-Star game. I even like the Home Run Derby. I like the way it's formatted and the way they're going to do it. I think it's fun. I think it's a fun event. It's not necessarily must-watch television on that Monday night by any stretch. And the All-Star game, I think, is always entertaining. Again, not must-watch TV, but I'll be watching. I'll be entertained by it. And I like to see the top players. And it's kind of, I mean, there were some snubs to this point. I mean, Juan Soto, the $750 million man for the New York Mets, was not selected to the All-Star game, either by the fans or by the player, manager, coach voting. So I think that was a major snub for All-Star. Again, there could still be changes, and he could still be added at some point. And then I think my other guy, Trey Turner, is the other one that, shortstop was just a big-time position in the National League. I'm all about Francisco Lindor and Ellie De La Cruz as well. I love both those guys, so it's hard to say take one of them out to put Turner in, and you really only need two at each position. But I would say Juan Soto, Trey Turner from the National League, and George Springer of the red-hot Toronto Blue Jays, who had 2 grand slams this past week alone, wasn't selected to the American League team. We'll talk more about that. This is fun. I enjoy that. Again, some of those guys may still show up there, and we'll talk about who did make the All-Star team as we move along this week, every day this week. Tomorrow I go back to my Transfer Tuesday with the Richmond Spiders. David Thomas, the transfer from DePaul, will be our guest tomorrow afternoon. Introduce you to him as we continue our Transfer Tuesday series here on the home of the Spiders and introduce you to Richmond's transfer guys. Talk to you tomorrow afternoon at 4 with the Mashup Hour, at 5 with the Sports Huddle. Jordan, thanks. Thanks for tuning in. 106.1 ESPN.
Richmonders love Pella, Virginia. See why they're consistent.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you.